Ladies and gentlemen, lock and load because it's time for the War Room. That's right, KocoSports coming to you here live. You got the Koco crew here. First, you got way over across the pond in Tokyo, Japan, talking about the huge one, Dave Koco. Of course, I am the other one talking about Boom Boom. Here's Shaking Room live from the RVA, Richmond, Virginia. And, well, what can I say? This is like a new show that we're doing. Last week was the pilot, so to speak. Now we're going to kind of get into the meat of things here, try to get things in full swing. We put it off for a day because we wanted to have a chance to look at all the shows, review everything, and form our opinions. So hope you enjoy it. Be sure to get your questions and comments down here live in the comments section. So, Dave, I'm going to start out with, here's the first question. Cindy, I know normally on our reviews we start out with win, loss, or tie, but we're going with multiple shows. So my first question to you, sir, is who do you think won the war this week? 4 shows. We had NXT, Lucha Underground, TNA, and Ring of Honor. Which one of these companies do you believe won the war this week?
This is really tough. I think this is going to come down to what companies you like best, what style you like best, because I honestly think all 4 shows were weak wins for the company. Like, I think all 4 shows were wins, but I think all 4 shows have had better shows. I don't know. It's a really tough call. I know the lock for the match of the night. I know the match of the night. I know that for sure. That goes to NXT, but NXT pissed away its pre-show on fucking 1980s fucking squash matches. ROH wasn't bad. Lucha Underground wasn't bad. Impact, it had one thing I did not enjoy, but overall, I think everything was a weak win. But if I had to rank them, I'm going to go, man, it's really close. Well, why don't you go first? I'm going to hot tag you and cower it away. This is tough.
Basically, so you can criticize me and like, well, I'm going to go the opposite of Boom Boom. So let's
down in the comments, if you watched all 4 shows, rank them. Rank the shows where you think they go. All right, I'm going to man up. I'm going to be a man's man and rank.
Are you going to pull a Briscoe and man up?
I am. I'm going Lucha Underground, ROH, TNA, and these are all close. And then last, NXT. But with that said, I thought NXT had one of the best matches of the night. All right, Booms. There. I manned up. Now you man up. What's your
I will agree that I believe NXT won a major battle, but I believe overall Lucha Underground won the war. I will rank it Lucha Underground, Ring of Honor, NXT, TNA Impact.
All right, so there you go. And knowing's half the battle.
For those of you scoring at home going, oh my God, Boom Boom shitting on TNA. No, I'm not. I'm going to say TNA wasn't great, but it wasn't that bad. I mean, the shows were pretty close this week. So, I mean, it's all like neck and neck.
Speaking of neck and neck, I looked at Google Plus and my neck is getting fatter and fatter. Jeez Louise.
Well, you see, Dave, there's 2 things you need to do in order to lose that. There's a thing called dieting where you eat things with nutritional value and less things that you want. And then you do this other thing called exercise, which is repetitive movement in order to burn calories. And if you combine the 2, your fat will magically go away after a while.
All right. So now I know, and knowing is half the battle. G.I. Joe. All right, so do you give them all weak wins? I give them all weak wins. What do you give it?
I would give Lucha Underground just a middle-of-the-road win. I mean, I don't think it was a bad show. But as far as the other shows go, yeah, I will give them weak wins.
All right, so there you go. All right, so what's the batting order? Usually we go with who's going to bed first, considering it's 11:33 a.m. where I live, and it's 10:30 at night. I'll let you choose the batting order.
You know what? We were both pretty high on Lucha Underground, so let's go ahead and tell everybody why we thought that one won the war for this week. So let's go ahead and do that. Let me see if I can find it. Here we go. Lucha Underground results. And I'm just going to give you these are just the quick results. We're going to try to zip through these as fast as possible. We had Bengala versus Delvar Davari. We also had King Cuerno versus Killshot. We had Superfly versus Sexy Star, then immediately followed up to Sexy Star versus Marty the Moth Martinez. Basically that's the Mexican Dave Coco. And then we had that's actually what wrapped it up.
That was the last match, because then they had the Prince Puma and then Lotus face off. So yeah, overall it was pretty exciting, pretty pumped up about it. They had a Pentagon Jr. Vampiro feud moved along. They opened up with that. I think Pentagon Jr. I don't know, it's just I never seen someone improve so much. You got to remember, he was Chavo Guerrero's kick along buddy when the season began, and now he is a huge factor in it. And not only that, but just really entertaining. And he talks with the owner, so and I don't know. I thought this was a good promo, but at the same time, I'm like, are they kind of shitting on the Aztec coins a little bit? But Pentagon.
Yeah, I'm glad that you mentioned that, because there were 4 medallions left, and Dario Cueto was going to give away 3 of them. And in fact, all the matches had an Aztec medallion on the line, and there's going to be one more up for grabs now. I still don't know what Dario Cueto's end game is. I don't know what these medallions is. It could be like everybody has a medallion. It's going to be like in a tournament or in a single match, or is it going to be like the Dragon Balls? You get them all, and then you get like a magical wish from a dragon, which I think could happen in Lucha Underground the way it's going.
Yeah, I have no idea. I find it very interesting though. Davari comes out for the first match. He goes against a Bengala, which a lot of people think is me. Just because someone wears a tiger mask doesn't always mean it's me. I enjoyed this match a lot. Bengala, I find to be really strange. He's like what CM Punk describes as fat skinny. He's a fat luchador, and sometimes you look at him and you're like, what a fat piece of shit. And then sometimes he's like the ultimate lucha guy. It's so weird. I studied Bengango. I'm totally slaughtering his name. I studied him like he's a different creature. Just because he's fat, but he can wrestle like a cruiserweight. But I don't know. I found him to be very interesting. He wins because of a mess up by Big Rick. Big Rick is on an apron. He goes to punch Bengala. Bengala switches and punches Davari, and he rolls him up. So Bengala gets a coin, and he's into the final match.
Here's something that I'm actually surprised about. I'm actually surprised that the company booked Bengala to get the win, because we really haven't seen that much of Bengala this season of Lucha Underground. I know he was there early on, and then wrestled a 6-man match against the Disciples of Death. But that's all that we've seen of him, and at least this season on Lucha Underground. And I'm surprised they gave him the win and gave him a medallion.
Yeah. So I'm very interested. I don't know why. He intrigues me. I'm like, does he suck? Is he amazing? I can't stop watching him. He's a weird creature. He is a weird creature. And not only that, but the way he acts after he wins the match, I'm just like, this is the craziest motherfucker I've ever seen in my life. I can't look away, and he's not a bad wrestler. He's a weird wrestler. Vampiro heads to the ring. They do a great job. He cuts a promo and basically uses his full name. Pentagon Jr., just amazing. I hope more people use subtitles, just because there's probably people like Pentagon Jr. and Okada and Nakamura who maybe their English skills are not that up to par for the American audience, but at the same time they're just cutting great promos. And Vampiro cut a good promo, the teased, used his real name, and then he's like, well, I'm him, I'm done, I'm a man of peace. but he finds the monster, as Hoist Gracie would say. He knows where the monster lives, and he's like, but you're not going to be fighting him. You're going to be fighting Vampiro. And, man, this was a pretty decent promo, but this is where audience participation matters. The crowd going absolutely batshit insane added to this promo beyond belief. I was just like, man, they're so happy. That makes me happy. So I'm looking forward to it. And it's interesting to see if Vampiro can still hold his own and still go. So I find this storyline kind of interesting. All right. Next, you got, I always fuck this up.
I will say that. It is King Cuerno versus Killshot. Again, this is for a ancient Aztec medallion. King Cuerno, and oddly enough, it bothered me enough. I said, you know what, I'm going to look up, what does King Cuerno mean? What does Cuerno mean in Spanish? That actually comes from the Spanish word to mean horn or antler. So, say it doesn't have to all be funny, ha-ha here. We can learn.
We can educate ourselves.
Yes, we can.
Interesting. I thought, like, this is a little nitpick here. Everyone that's got one of the medallions had to wrestle like 27 fucking dudes in a lucha extravaganza. And the Daivari thing kind of made sense. He paid his way in, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But then when they kept up with single matches, I'm like, I know you don't have a big roster, but how unfair is that to fucking, the other guys that are competing, like Phoenix and all that? Phoenix is like, I beat 37 guys with one arm. You big kill shot. That's not fair. I enjoyed the match. I enjoyed Killshot, but it still seems like Killshot isn't up to the speed of the other luchadors yet. Like, he could do the moves. He's just not as fluent as the other guys, but I still enjoyed it. I was surprised they gave Killshot so much offense. But King Corino, Mr. Horn, he gets the win. Your thoughts on the match?
Oh, no, I really enjoyed the match. I think Killshot has actually done well this season. I think everything kind of fell apart for him once his trios team lost in the tournament. He really hasn't done much since then, but I was glad to see him back on the show. And I enjoy King Cuerno. I think he's one of the better villains on Lucha Underground. He actually wrestles as El Hijo de Fantasma in AAA. So I would actually like to, and I believe that character is a face. So I would like to see how he kind of, I kind of like a wrestler who can do both sides of the fence. I'm interested to see what his face work looks like as well. But after a crossbody, Cuerno, he wound up reversing a Hurricanrana, hit a suicide dive, went through the thrill of the hunt. But he had wound up hitting, Cuerno got hit with a flapjack. Now, I love that submission hold that he had. It's like a Mexican surfboard, but then he goes back into like a dragon sleeper. This caused Killshot to tap out. So a new move there for Cuerno. So in my opinion, I think he's one of my favorites going into whatever's going to happen here with the Aztec medallions.
All right, and let's see. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, sorry, I'm on the wrong thing. I apologize.
Next, it was Sexy Star taking on Superfly. Dave, now this one actually shocked me because this match was quick. And I mean quick. I'm talking like 30 seconds. Superfly got a hold of her. She did that thing where she spun around him and then hit him, planted him in the mat, and gave her an opportunity to lock on an arm bar. Superfly tapped. And then Marty the Moth Martinez, again, the Mexican Dave Coco, comes in and says, hey, this Aztec medallion's got a moth on it, so it's, it's got to be mine, so my people's. And I, basically challenged Sexy Star for the medallion. I'm thinking, don't tell me they're going to put the moth into this, whatever, in the mix here with the Aztec medallions. And I was like, oh, come on, Lucha Underground, don't do it like this. It's like WWE, how you do it. And they had the match, and hey, second verse, same as the verse. Quick match, Sexy Star gets the win, again with a submission with that arm bar. It looked like it was going to be over, but with Martinez locking Sexy Star in a figure four, but she flipped it over. And then during the rope break, she managed to get a slam and then planted Martinez on his face and got the armbar. So way to go to Sexy Star. And let me tell you something, Dave. Sexy Star is somebody I've really come to love. I'm kind of kicking myself. I'm like, how the hell did I not know about this woman? I mean, she's just fucking awesome. I mean, she's got just a very, it's a heartbreaking story, but it's just kind of like the phoenix rising from the ashes. I mean, she was just such in a bad place and then just comes up and it's just this huge fan favorite. Everybody's embraced her. And I think it's like, Dave, I know you have a daughter and I have a stepdaughter, and that is somebody I could probably point to my stepdaughter and be like, you know what, if you want to do wrestling, you want to look up for a role model, Sexy Star, that's somebody you can look up to. That's somebody right there that's like embodies kind of what a female wrestler should be.
Yeah, Sexy Star made a lot of headlines when she had her WWE tryout. A lot of people thought very highly of her, but WWE, fucking what dicks. They basically said you have to take the mask off, which she was willing to do, but then they said she wasn't good looking enough, which I think fucking is ridiculous. Hey, Stephanie, how's that feminism movement going for you? Fucking cunt. Anyway, yeah, but Sexy Star was amazing. I have mixed feelings about the first match. One, I love fucking arm bars. I love the fact when people sell an arm bar, I'm just a fucking mark for a good arm bar. So I marked out for that. But I also was like, this is kind of a big feud. And Superfly just like, oh, fuck, I got caught in the arm bar. So, I don't know, I got mixed feelings because there's the love of long matches and the love of, oh, this is kind of a major feud versus, holy fuck, nothing is sexier than a woman fucking breaking someone's arm in an arm bar. So, like, I got mixed feelings as far as that goes, but I still enjoyed it. And Marty the Moth, I'm not a big fan of Marty the Moth, but he did his job tonight. When he came out and took the medallion, fucking, for that moment, Lucha Underground was fucking real to me. I was like, there's no fucking way this son of a bitch is fucking taking this from Sexy Star. So even though I don't enjoy him, I don't find him entertaining, he did beyond his job. Because when Marty Roth came out and started talking shit, I bought it hook, line, and sinker for that moment. And that's one of the more magical moments of pro wrestling, when you buy it for real. You know, you're like, holy shit, what? You know, like you get caught up in the moment. It's funny because movie fans let themselves go. Magic fans let themselves go. I'm not Magic the Gathering, but, you know, like David Copperfield and shit. But it's so, for some reason, wrestling fans don't like to let themselves go. They don't, you know, like when you go to watch a magic show or a movie, there's not an asshole going, oh, you know, it's not fucking real, right? That you let yourself go. And in pro wrestling, it's harder to let yourself go, but I bought into it, dude. I was like, Marty the Moth, you fucking scumbag! How dare you? So I enjoyed it, and not that, but I was rooting for Sexy Star, and I'm glad she won. I would think I would have been a legit kayfabe turned real pissed off if Sexy Star didn't walk out with the medallion. And I think that's great when you actually get caught up in it. It's okay to be a passionate fan.
It is.
And then afterwards, not a contract signing, so it gets a pass. If this was a contract signing, I'd have to automatically give it a fail. I'd have to automatically give it a
it wound up being a confrontation between Prince Puma and Mil Muertes. They kind of stood, face to face. Cuerno, Dario was actually saying, "Hey, I don't want you shenanigans." He was straight upset. I don't want any shenanigans this call. But Katrina came out anyway. Puma and Muertes started fighting back and forth, and the Disciples of Death came in. They laid out Puma. They wound up beating up Conan. They threw Conan in a casket. They just left Prince Puma just laying in a heap. And I'm like, wow, this is a lot of good hype here. You got Ultima Lucha coming up on the 5th. Hopefully that will not be the last Lucha Underground event for 2015. Hopefully we're gonna get a break. We know that, but I'm hoping they come back strong for a second too. Now, I actually forwarded Dave an article earlier this week that, from what I understand, that everybody, all the powers that be want Lucha Underground back. It's The El Rey Network is on board. I believe like a lot of the talent's on board. In fact, El Rey Network gave basically like put money on the table and said, "Here, we want season 2." The only thing that's holding up Lucha Underground for season 2 is the fact that they have like high production values and they're not willing to sacrifice that, because they have standards. So they're trying to independently raise some extra money so that way they can keep the same level of production values that we're accustomed to seeing. So hopefully they'll turn that around. And if not, I mean, hey, Dave, you got Krista Joseph's number on speed dial because you're cool like that. Ask him how much they need. Maybe we'll like start like a Kickstarter campaign. We're like, dude, seriously, we can't let this wrestling die. I mean,
I think you give my street cred way too much credit.
Shut up and lie.
Now, one thing, can I be douchey for 5 seconds? This douchey moment is brought to you by Dave's a Douchebag.
.com.
As a future published novelist, I was really nervous. Because there's something like a writer does that's like equivalent to the no-hitter. That is a character that you care about never speaking. Try not to use dialogue to get a character over. That is the no-hitter. That is the ultimate prize for screenwriters. And it doesn't make something better. It's, a win is a win. If Archer gives up a hit that dribbles past the shortstop in the 8th inning, you still won, but it's not the no-hitter. The no-hitter that people brag about is that, wow, I got this character over. I told this story without dialogue. Yeah, I'm a dialogue whore, but it's a special thing. And I was worried that Prince Puma was going to talk, and he didn't. And I don't know if that's what they're going for, but as a fucking writing nerd, I marked the fuck out that he didn't talk. And here's the second thing. Quick question. We've been bragging about how Prince Puma never said anything. Has Mil Muertes ever said anything?
No, Mil has not said anything. Katrina is his mouthpiece.
That is fucking amazing. You have two crazy characters. I don't know if Mil Muertes has never talked. I'm pretty sure, because I remember paying attention from day one. I don't think Prince Puma has ever said a fucking goddamn word. To me, that's just amazing writing, and they should give themselves Barry Horowitz's. And at first, I did not like this segment until, because the whole time I was too worried. I'm like, oh man, if Prince Puma talks, there goes the no-hitter. It's a very nerdy thing. I don't know if you know this, but the guys at KocoSports are nerds. So I thought they were going to give up the no-hitter, and they didn't. And they might have 2 no-hitters going on. But I didn't really care about this promo until they put Conan inside the casket. And then I was like, oh, shit. It is motherfucking on. So hopefully Prince Puma can get it. And I'm a huge fan of Prince Puma. And by the way, I want to Boom Boom hates when I do this. I want to correct a mistake. I thought it said Ricochet on his chest, and it does not. Unless they fucking had a tattoo fucking artist change that. I was always under the impression that his chest said Ricochet. And I am a fucking moron that's been watching him for years in Dragon Gate. I've actually met him. I don't know if he was wearing a shirt. I've met him. And I'm like, oh, well, fucking Ricochet on his chest. What we learned today is he either changed... What's the over-under here? Boom, boom. You got option A. Ricochet changed his tattoo either with magic or something, or Dave's a fucking moron and can't read. Which option are you going with?
I'll take B, sir.
All right, Dave's a fucking moron and can't read. So overall, I give it a win. But like I said, it's a weak win. They've had better shows, but they're also doing a great job building up to their big event, their special event. All right, Booms. I'm going to go to some live comments. Anything else you want to say about Lucha Underground before we go to live comments?
If you're not a Lucha Underground fan, this is something I would actually recommend you try to get into. Just find where the archives are and then go back to episode 1 and just start watching. I promise you won't be disappointed. Without commercials, the show's roughly 45 minutes long, but it's the fastest 45 minutes you will ever go through. It's just been amazing, and I really want to see this company prosper. And I guess I'd be remiss if I didn't mention like the legal battle that Lucha Underground and TNA are involved in right now over Hernandez.
Yeah, this sucks for TNA, but you know what? TNA, you've been dicks before.
I tell you what, I'll give it.
No, know what it is. Know what it is.
Mhm.
I feel bad for TNA because TNA ran into a fucking tree. But I'm also don't feel that bad because TNA's been throwing motherfuckers into a tree every goddamn day of their life. So now that they're hurting, they're like, oh, please don't. Let's be friends. Like, no. As a New Japan fan, no. I just, and I like TNA. I love Lucha Underground. I actually like both products. But to be like, oh, poor TNA, it's a bit much.
Yeah, real quick, I'll just kind of give everybody the Cliff Notes version of this if you want. If you're not familiar with the legal battle situation here, is pretty much Lucha Underground's done for the year. So Hernandez, without the official announcement of a season 2 coming from Lucha Underground, Hernandez started looking around for another job, knocked on the door of TNA, and they said, "Hey, what's up, Hernandez?" And Hernandez is like, "Hey, can I have a job?" And they're like, and TNA's like, "Well, aren't you under contract to Lucha Underground?" And Hernandez is like, "Oh, no, that's cool. I'm done with them." They're like, "Okay, come on in. We'll make you part of the Beatdown Clan." So he shows up. He's on TNA television. Well, Lucha Underground sees it, gets on the telephone, goes, "Hey, TNA, what the fuck? You can't be using our guy. He's under contract." And they're like, "Well, he said he was clear." And they're like, "No, he's not. He's under contract. You cannot show him. And if you keep showing him, we're going to sue you." And TNA said, "Well, no. Can we just work this out? We'll be cool about it. We'll give you money. How about that? We'll write you a big old check." And they whip out their checkbook, and Lucha Underground says, "Fuck you and your fucking money. No, you cannot have Hernandez. He's under contract with us. We don't want him showing up on Impact. So."
Welcome to the world of dealing with television people instead of business people and wrestling people. Wrestling people and business people would have took that contract, but television people, as two guys that work behind the scenes.
I do.
Actually, I was on Air Talent for a little bit, but then they said I was ugly, so work behind the scenes. I'm like, I understand your point, television. As two guys, dude, television people are fucking, dude, they do not budge. They do not budge. And that's where, like, it comes. I know that, but the Beatdown Clan, like, a lot of that shit is going to be scrapped. They're panicking. They even showed a replay tonight of a Slammiversary match, and I wonder if that was to edit out. The editing team's going to have to do a lot of work because, according to what I've read online and people have told me through social media, is that the Beatdown Clan was finally getting their push, and now they're going to have to edit all that out, which really, really sucks. But let me put on my TNA cap on for a second. I am way more pissed off at Hernandez than I am Lucha Underground. Mm-hmm. Way more pissed off. Like, I would, this is a tough call. But yeah, Hernandez I love Hernandez. This is what hurts me, but I got to put on my TNA business cap here. I would definitely sue Hernandez. He was definitely fired, and I'd sue him because, unless TNA is stupid and didn't ask, but I don't know. TNA has a bad track record of running businesses. But yeah, it's an interesting situation.
All right, so quickly, let's get through the comments and let's get to the next show.
All right, and if we don't get their comments right away, we'll definitely get it. D-Rocks, he's sent us 3 tweets. You can tweet us at KocoSports. Man, I heard some good news. Buggy Nova might be coming back. She was in NXT as Skylar Moon. Sweet. Hey, Anita, why aren't you standing up for women's wrestling? To me, Stephanie is better feminist than you. All right, well, moving on. Season 2, cheerleader Melissa. I'm getting sling soon. I don't know. Is that like young guy slang that I don't understand?
Apparently not. Apparently.
Slang. I think maybe that's where you're getting television. I don't know. Moving on. I apologize for not understanding that tweet. King Darkwing Duck 2001 or 2021.
Yeah, I love that name, baby.
No, it's just King DW, but we had Darkwing. He's dangerous. TNA was boring as hell this week. I didn't even finish it. And what are some of your favorite 5 contract signings? King DW, why? Why? Darkwing Duck, why you gotta kick me while I'm down? Job Christ Jules, and I'm pretty sure I mispronounced that name. Lucha Underground Job. All right, moving on. I was about to make an inappropriate joke about Jesus being a jobber, but no, not on my watch. Lucha Underground lacks storytelling, with some of the matches failing to make me care about them. But I know at the end of the day, it's all building towards Ultima Lucha, which is most likely going to be number 1 or 2 best wrestling show of the year. Number 2 only after Wrestle Kingdom. I agree with that second statement. I don't know. Lucha Underground seems to have made a shift maybe 2-3 weeks ago from, oh my God, every show has to be amazing, to this one show is going to be amazing. We're building up to it. I don't think the storylines were that good. I mean, I bought into the Marty the Moth. I liked the interaction with the owner, Pentagon Jr. I thought the Vampire. So, yeah, I understand what you're saying a little bit, but I don't know. I didn't think the storylines were that weak. LB Clash of Kings. So you guys, some TNA news. TNA is looking to shop around other TV networks. That's not good. Just so they'll have backup plan if Destination America uses the out clause. So TNA won't have to wait off TV months, because they have plans for Bound for Glory that they want to keep on schedule. This thing, the executives have some form of relationship with somebody backstage in WWE. If Destination America wants ROH to replace TNA on their channel, then some of the rumors they said about production money for ROH coming soon at expense of TNA, then I'll be really upset at Destination America if they do a douchebag move like that. But I think TNA needs to be on a bigger network anyway, better than Destination America. I would have preferred them choosing the other 3 options they had last year. Esquire Network, WGN, stayed on Spike with lesser deal, Fox Sports 1, True Television. So TNA does have a few other networks out there interested in them. Yeah, but they don't want to become the Matt Morgan of wrestling companies. You don't want to just keep saying you got potential and it's going to work out. Because I'll tell you, especially in television, you could have interest and intrigued and all that, and you can get a lot of jobs. But once you're out of the spotlight, or once like they can love you in July and the next July have nothing to do with you. So I don't know. I hope TNA survives. But at the same time, they've made a lot of mistakes, and that's why the opening promo of TNA was so good this week. There had to be a little bit of shoot fame in that. But yeah, so hopefully TNA finds a new home. I just think, this is my honest opinion. I have no facts whatsoever. My honest opinion, I think Destination America is just fucking with them, and they're going to try to get Global Force, TNA, and ROH all on one night and get it down way cheaper. Way cheaper. I don't know if WWE has anything to do with it. It's a possibility. It's not. I wouldn't put it past Vince. But besides WWE fucking with them, I honestly think about it. If this was a legit television show, you know what they would do every day with me and Boom Boom? Every day they'd be like, "Yo, fucking, you don't need Dave Coco. Fucking, why don't you fucking get your own show?" And meanwhile, your own show means you get paid less. Television networks are evil, but they're very good at being evil. So I imagine that's just my theory. But hopefully they find a new home, because TNA can only take so many blows. Like I make fun of TNA, but Dixie Carter, I had to make fun of her. But one thing, she's a fighter. She keeps it going. She might not be a smart fighter. She might, blocking fists with her face. But she's getting off that stool and keep fighting, so you have to give her respect for that. LB Clash of Kings says, this week's TNA was one of their off episodes, so I give it a 5 out of 10. I like the opening segment, Dixie and Bully with the whole locker room at ringside, and we'll get to that. So this, shockingly, I rate the shows. ROH number 1, Lucha number 2, TNA number 3, NXT number 4. Yeah, NXT, they could be so much better. Blood Wolf Assassin. This will be the last one, and then we'll come back. Okay, Booms?
Okay.
Because I appreciate the comments. We don't have many viewers, but we got fucking active viewers. So that's all that matters. Blood Wolf Assassin. Sexy Star is the sexiest woman in wrestling. She is adorable.
Yes,
Question:
she is.
what is your opinion of Eva Marie getting trained by Brian Kendrick? If you ask me, I don't give a shit if they put her in the Matrix chair and download the moveset of Shawn Michaels, Kurt Angle, Chris Jericho, Prince Puma, AJ Styles, and Nakamura. I'm still going to hate her guts. I don't know. I don't watch Total Divas. All I know is from what I've seen on NXT, she can act and cut a promo. So for that bitch, for me to get over with that bitch, or for her to get over with me, I should say, she better be having some goddamn 5 stars matches in that ring. Because I don't know the drama with Total Divas. I don't know the drama behind the scenes with her. It does not tickle my fancy one bit. I don't give a fuck about her. But with that said, tonight's promo was god-awful. Horrible. She better be bringing motherfucking at least 3.5 to 4 stars with that bitch. Because if she's like, I'm above it, she better be better. Let's put it this way. If she's not better than Nikki Bella, fuck her. She better bring the fucking thunder, and she better be better than Nikki Bella. If not, I'm giving her the fucking Coco fucker.
Proper fucked?
Whatever, dude. I just can't deal with women who can't wrestle, especially after watching NXT.
I'm just saying, Dave, do you mean like fucker or fucker?
Either one. I'm okay. Either one will work. All right, sir. Which one you want to go to next? Lucha Underground review over. Comment time for that is over. We'll go back to more comments, and you can ask us about anything. We'll hit it up.
Well, since we were talking about, I was going to say let's do something else, but since we were talking about, let's go ahead and just take a look at NXT then. Since we talked about Eva Marie, I think that's a good segue into NXT. Of course, this was recorded at Full Sail University. Real quick, I'm just going to lay out the matches here for you. We had Jason Jordan and Chad Gable, their first match together, teaming up to take on Steve Cutler and Elias Sampson. We had Samoa Joe and a debut from Axel Disher. Then we had a tag team match, Wesley Blake and Buddy Murphy taking on Angelo Dawkins and Sawyer Fulton.
Then fucking non-title match.
Then we had the main event, at least in my opinion, this was the match that won all of Wednesday night, was the NXT Women's Championship match. Sasha Banks defending against Charlotte. So, Coco, let's just go ahead and lay it out here. I'll start it off here with Jason Jordan, Chad Gable. Gable, of course, been begging Jason Jordan for weeks to become his tag team partner. Jason Jordan, want to try a new partner since his split with Ty Dillinger. Their first challenge was Steve Cutler and Elias Sampson, who are certainly no strangers to NXT. They're just I hate to use this term, but sometimes you got to call a spade a spade. They're jobbers. I think
Barry Horowitz would say enhancement talent, sir.
There you go, enhancement talent. However, hey, it's like, oh, at one point I was a landscape engineer. No, I fucking cut grass. Okay, I fucking cut grass. There we go. Chad Gable, I think it was a pretty good first match for him, at least on television. I think both of these guys really showed off their amateur background. They had, in my opinion, a decent finisher. I believe it was something like a mid.
I thought it was a sexy finisher. I enjoyed the finisher a lot.
Yeah, it was good. It was like a suplex, like a backdrop suplex into like another suplex with Gable waiting, gets the pin, with the bridge and wins. Hopefully this is Dave, this is something that we talked about weeks ago. We've noted that once they called up the Ascension, once they called up the Lucha Dragons, it was the NXT's tag team division was just in a world of hurt. I mean, they put the belts on Blake and Murphy, and
that fucking honeymoon is over.
Yeah, and then they only had two other tag teams, two credible tag teams to challenge them. You had the Vaudevillains, and then you had Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy, and we said that's it. I mean, this is a division that's in trouble. And now, do you believe that NXT? It's going to be a long road ahead. But do you feel like that NXT has acknowledged the problem and they're taking steps right now to correct that problem to try to beef up the tag division?
You know what? I think the tag team division isn't as bad as people think. The Ascension kind of sucks. I always thought they were overhyped, but people enjoyed them, so I just sit back and said, all right, enjoy them. I don't fucking get it. I don't think the tag team division was ever that strong. I mean, the Ascension held the belts for like 800 years. But no, I think they're going the right path. I think it's going to be amazing. I honestly think, you know what's hurting the tag team division? The champs. The champs are, like, it was a feel-good story. It was like, oh, they work hard.
They worked hard, and they got it.
Yeah, it was a feel-good story. It was a feel-good story turned into John Cena. That's what it was. It was like,
come on, there's no need for name calling now.
I mean, it's like, yeah, you worked hard. You're the tag champs, and now you're like, really, you're still the fucking tag champs? You're really still the tag champs.
You know,
you're not even the Walmart. You are the Kmart version of the Young Bucks. Just get the fuck out of here, dude. No one gives a fuck about you and your girlfriend. All right, let's focus on this match. We'll make fun of the tag team champs later. I enjoyed this match a lot, and I am super excited for Jason Jordan and Chad Gable. First off, fuck you for anyone that's like, I'm a technical wrestler. Oh, I fucking do amateur wrestling. That is good technical wrestling. That is good amateur wrestling. Dear indie wrestlers, you're fat and fucking lazy, and you're not fucking wrestling. Stop using technical amateur wrestling as an excuse for you absolutely being fucking horrible. That was amazing mat work. All right? There's too many fucking indie wrestlers out there. That's not even fair to indie wrestlers. There's too many wrestlers out there that's like, oh, I'm working a mat. I'm technical. Oh, I use amateur style. And you fucking suck. Cable and Jordan don't suck at this, and they're amazing. I found it to be absolutely amazing. I'll be rooting for them. I'm a huge amateur wrestling fan, so obviously they got their resume set up for that. And that finisher I thought was sweet, and I enjoy it. I'm going to see where they go. I'm hoping that they stick as a tag team. And as of what I've seen tonight, I'm like, they have potential stars on their hand. It'd be absolutely awesome. All right, let's go to the next match, sir.
Next match, Samoa Joe taking on Axel Discher. Axel is actually a German. He's actually making his debut. Apparently, he's been working hard in the training camp right now. So, you know, I don't think it was a bad debut for Discher. Not the least. I think he's got a lot of people are like, oh, who's this fat fuck? You know, this guy's a nobody. And this is a problem I feel like some wrestling fans have. It's like they want these wrestlers to come up and have experience, but they don't ever want to give them a chance to get it. I mean, this is NXT. This is what they're there for. They're there to get experience.
Not so fast, my fellow friend. I'm gonna have to disagree. This is the most we've ever had Lee Corsos. Go fucking to the indies. Go fuck you, and you're fucking tough enough. Oh, I'm fucking Alex fucking Riley, and that one time I fucking masturbated on fucking Stephanie McMahon. No, fuck you. Fuck you. NXT isn't where you're supposed to learn to become a wrestler. Tough Enough isn't where you're supposed to learn to be a wrestler. Fuck you. You want to be a goddamn wrestler, you go pay the $5-10 fucking dollars to go down the road to get paid fucking a hot dog. All right? You bust your ass on the indies. You travel the fucking world, you pieces of shit. No, fuck you. Oh, hey, he's an NXT recruit. He's not too bad. Yeah, how about this? Go to fucking New Japan. Go to a goddamn dojo, you pieces of shit. I'm tired of fucking people pretending they're goddamn wrestlers going, yeah, I'm going to learn it once I get a WWE contract. No. The John Cenas, the Dave Batistas, the Randy Ortons are fucking, that generation's over. How about you get on the fucking airplane, head to Japan, head to Mexico, head to Puerto Rico, and learn how to fucking wrestle, you fucking pieces of shit. Go on, Booms.
Dave, you're wrong yet again, but that's fine. This is why I'm here. I'm here to guide you.
Good. Remember that next time they fucking have some random fucking athlete masturbating and fucking remember that when Kenta has to put over fucking Muscle McMuscles. Remember that when Prince Devitt. Remember that when Roman Reigns. No, fine. When Roman Reigns is champ and you're like, wow, he's just like John Cena. Remember this moment. Write it the fuck down. In Tokyo time, July 17, 2015, 12:13. Remember this fucking moment, because when you're fucking bitching going, oh, Roman Reigns has fucking ended everything and he fucking sucks. Oh, I can't believe John Cena's been wrestling for 20 fucking years. Remember this moment. That's on you.
That's fine. It could be on me because here's why you're wrong, Dave. You were saying like, oh, go to Japan, go to Puerto Rico, go to all these dojos. I'm like, well, a lot of these guys already have, and for these guys to get
then they
better,
should suck.
For these guys to get better, you're gonna have to wrestle wrestlers who are better than you. And Samoa Joe, I think, is a perfect example of that. Axel Disher wrestled Samoa Joe, who's obviously a superior wrestler, and I guarantee you he's going to – I mean, what difference does it make? I mean, if he wrestles Samoa Joe at NXT, what difference does it make if he wrestles him here, or WWC and Puerto Rico?
This is the difference. You ready? You ready? Here's the difference.
It's still wrestling.
Here's the difference. Would you draft an NFL quarterback that never played in college?
What does that have to do with any of this?
Because the NXT and WWE is the highest level. That's the fucking NFL. That's like being a Major League Baseball team. You're the Tampa Bay Rays, and you're like, hey,
NXT is not the highest level, Dave.
It's the fucking minor leagues. All right,
farm league.
Listen, yes, farm league. Fucking, all right, you're the goddamn Tampa Bay Rays. Are you going to go fucking someone in minor leagues and be like, you never pitched a game in fucking baseball? Yes, let's teach them how to pitch. No, you're not. You're going to fucking scout the world for the best goddamn pitchers.
Another reason why you're wrong is that you're assuming that Axel Disher has absolutely no wrestling experience whatsoever.
No. I don't know what his wrestling experience is. I know that match fucking sucked. No, it sucked. Cut him. It sucked. End of fucking story. All right, so, okay, let's go back to baseball. You got a pitcher. Okay, he fucking sucks. He gives up 9 fucking runs in the 3rd fucking inning. Guess what? You cut him. But I pitched one game in Germany. Don't give a fuck. You know what? When you show up to NXT, if fucking pro wrestling was legit, not even legit, if they cared about pro wrestling, you would have it. You would have Prince Devitt. You would have Kentas. You would have Samoa Joes. You would have Kevin Owens. These are the people that should be coming up, not fucking random guys. And now, granted, hey, maybe he has tons of fucking experience. Maybe. But when that motherfucker went to go pitch for fucking the Bulls, the Durham Bulls, he got fucking rocked in the 3rd goddamn inning. Well, hey, dude, go get some more fucking experience. You know, I'm tired of fucking motherfuckers just getting their hands held. I'm tired of, oh, they got potential, we'll teach them. Fuck that. You should have some goddamn pride. Actors have pride in their craft. Writers have pride in their craft. Baseball players have pride in their craft. Why can't pro wrestlers have pride in their fucking craft?
You know, I know a lot of people are sort of thinking, God, Boom Boom's really going to bat for this Axel Disher guy. And that's not necessarily what I'm doing here. It's just I like to see these young guys debut. I like to see these guys when they're babyface, fresh, and they're just starting out. They're learning the ropes with NXT. They're starting to find their groove, what their persona is going to be with WWE. I like that. And this is like essentially NXT is like AAA baseball. Yeah, you find a nice college guy who did well in college, then you call them up. They go up through the farm league, then you get into AAA. And again, this is AAA. I mean, this is like the Birmingham Barons. You bring them up, you pitch them a few things, you teach okay, what went right, what went wrong, what do we need to improve? So that way you can send them up to the Chicago White Sox, and then there's no problem. And NXT is basically the Birmingham Barons. This is the AAA league. This is exactly what it's there for. And just
all I'm saying is he needs to go back to AA. This is AAA. He needs to go back to AA. All right. Samoa Joe defeats him, and
via submission.
Good job, Joe.
Now, next, Dave's favorite tag team in the entire world, Blake and Murphy, with Alexa Bliss, took on Angelo Dawkins and Sawyer Fulton in a non-title match. Cue Dave scream. I didn't like this, but I didn't like it for a different reason. Believe it or not, I really don't have a problem with Blake and Murphy. In fact, I think since they've added Alexa Bliss to the group, I think it's really helped them out. It's really helped out Alexa Bliss. Here's the reason why I didn't like this match. For one, it was extremely short. It was like roughly a 3-minute match. And plus, Angelo Dawkins and Sultan Fuller, and no disrespect intended towards them, but didn't we just have 2 guys wrestle earlier with the exact same look? Jason Jordan and Chad Gable. I mean, these guys are coming out in singlets. They're promoting their amateur background. I mean, look, that's fine, but not everybody could come out with a shaved head and black trunks and finish everybody off with a Stone Cold Stunner. not everybody can come out, face paint and carry around a baseball bat. You gotta differentiate your guys, and even it doesn't matter if you're quote unquote jobbers or enhancement talent. You need to have your own identity. And right now, Angelo Dawkins and Sawyer Fulton don't have an identity. They need to find something to differentiate them. Right now, Jordan and Gable got the lock on the amateur wrestlers, so you guys need to find something different here. They mercifully got this over with quickly with that brain buster into a frog splash, and then I like how they picked up Alexa Bliss and she did the sparkle splash on, I think it was on Dawkins. I think she did the sparkle splash on, and so to me, I think it really pushed them a little bit more as heels. But I feel like if you're going to put a tag team out there and get them experience, you need to find that there need to be different. You can't have everybody going out in jeans and t-shirts. Same concept. You can't have everybody coming out in singlets going, okay, yeah, we were really good amateur wrestlers once upon a time.
Yeah, and if that, or just make them a giant faction. I mean, you can't have the two same exact gimmicks on the same exact show, and then like pretend that they just weren't out there. Granted, in the NWA days, they had 97 Russians, but if the 80s NWA taught us anything, all Russians love each other. So just have it where they're a faction or something. I just don't give a shit. Wake me up when it's a title match and these fuckers lose. Next.
Next, Sami Zayn, he came out to give an update on his health, and really no surprise here. This was pretty much confirmed what we'd already known, what we'd already heard. I believe what WWE had already talked about. It's looking like Zayn is not going to be back for the rest of 2015. Maybe you're looking maybe late December 2015 if he comes back that early, but it's looking more like January before he comes back. And to be honest, I think Zayn won't come back to NXT. I've got nothing to back this up. If it was me, here's what I would do. I would wait till the Royal Rumble. I would have Kevin Owens enter in kind of early, like somewhere in the top 10, and then somewhere around number 15, 16, or whatever, have Sami Zayn's music hit. He runs out there in the Royal Rumble, immediately starts attacking Kevin Owens. They wind up both getting eliminated by throw, but they keep brawling even though they get knocked over the top rope. And then we do the Zayn's Owen rematch in WWE and probably book that for Fastlane.
I just think they wanted to. I think he has to come back to NXT after this promo. Like, I think that would have been good, but like he's like, I'm going to come back for the NXT title and all that. But this, NXT isn't been as good as it's been in the past. But it's also lost Kenta and Sami Zayn, to injuries, and it's just crazy. I hope Sami Zayn comes back, and hopefully it speeds up. Here's the thing: this is the time we want to be worked. Like they're always talking about working us. When WWE works us, how come it's always horrible? But it would be nice to Sami Zayn worked us and he came back, but I don't think that's going to happen. I don't know. I miss my Sami Zayn. He brings joy in my heart. Him and Bailey.
Yes, he does.
All right. Hey, Booms, can you cover for me a second while you talk about the match? Because I got to go do something.
Okay, I'll talk about the main event. Main event was NXT Women's Championship match. The champion Sasha Banks defending against the challenger Charlotte. I was interested to see where this was going, considering both these ladies, along with Becky Lynch, debuted on Monday Night Raw. And I was thinking, well, it really doesn't matter who wins because they're both going to be up on the main roster. And looking at this was definitely one of the better matches of the night. The rest of the matches were relatively short, except for this match. This was the longest match of the night, and it's like WWE cleared the schedule out for these two. Again, I mean, no other show's going to end. No other show did end, and no other show's going to end with women in the main event. But these two can definitely pull it off. They went back and forth. Hell, Charlotte got a chunk of her hair ripped out. I'm pretty sure that was extensions, but it's still cool to say she got some of her hair ripped out. There was the knees in the corner. I love that. I absolutely just love that move from Sasha Banks. Sorry, I'm getting a little tongue-tied here. It looked like Sasha was going to cheat to win with a handful of tights, but they went back and forth, and eventually Banks hit the backstabber. Take two, pretend that made sense. Backstabber into the bank statement. Charlotte almost got to the roll, nearly got to the ropes, but Bank rolled back, flipped over. Charlotte locked again, applying the bank statement. Charlotte was caught in the middle, caught nowhere near the ropes, couldn't reach them, so eventually tapped out. These two had a big hug in the middle of the ring, and nobody thought anything about it till it continued into the locker room. But wow, this was just it was a phenomenal match. I think everybody should watch it. Charlotte, Sasha, definitely on their A game, and this wasn't even their best match. I think they've had better matches with each other. But still, not even at their absolute best, it was still it was just simply amazing, and I would definitely encourage everybody to watch it. I'm a huge fan of Charlotte's figure 8, so definitely check it out.
To me, I don't know. Sometimes, like when I watch women's wrestling, I'm like, am I a sexist fucking douchebag pig? Possibility.
Maybe.
But when I see two women have great matches, it makes me so much angrier at the other women. You know what I mean? Like the ones that can't wrestle. Because there's so many great women wrestlers out there and they're just not treated well. Like, it was such a great match. Like I said, NXT was the weakest show of Wednesday night, in my opinion. But this still, I think, was the best match of the night. And it just how much they cared about pro wrestling, how much effort they put into it, it's just, I don't know, like, so every diva, there's a Sasha Banks and Charlotte that just makes me even angrier. Like, it's just, no, this is what women's wrestling should be. This is what just wrestling should be. It was an awesome match, and I'm just preparing, because when Nikki Bella beats them, I'm going to lose my shit. Stephanie McMahon likes to pretend to be a feminist on Twitter, but, dude, you have to let the talented girls win. You have to. The women's pro wrestling doesn't need to be a joke. It gets to the point where, like, we always joke, like, oh, a Divas match, let's go to comments. I'll be completely honest, dude. Women's wrestling on the national stage fucking sucks. But it could be good. It could be good. They could have Sexy Star. They could have Sasha Banks. They could have Charlotte. They could have Kana. If you were just not sexist and racist. And that's on you, Stephanie. I said this, I think, on a Raw review, but it's worth repeating. Stephanie McMahon, the NXT girls versus the WWE Divas will tell us about you. Are you a good person? Because if you just let, oh, I slept with this guy, oh, we're twins, oh, fucking, I'm in a Divas competition. If you let these girls beat real women's wrestlers, if you let the divas beat the wrestlers, you're not a good person. Don't pretend to be. Just stop. Don't go online and be like, woman power! And for the love of God, tell your dad to stop being a racist. I mean, this women's wrestling could be amazing if you just weren't an asshole. And this proved it tonight. I don't know, like, after watching Sasha Banks and Charlotte, how can you take Nikki Bella versus fucking throw a random diva at me, Booms?
Tamina Snuka.
How can you take Nikki Bella versus Snuka seriously? How? And there's assholes that fucking are on YouTube. They're like, whoa, you don't like Nikki Bella because... No, we don't like her because she can't wrestle. Has she improved? Yes. And Nikki Bella is good enough to have a WWE tryout off her skills. That's how good she is. She's good enough to work her way up NXT. That's how good she is. Her sister, fuck her. She's no good. But that's how good she is. Where Charlotte and Sasha Banks are good enough to fucking make women's professional wrestling mean something. And Stephanie, it's on you. Because your dad's a racist fucking cocksucker who thinks women are fucking boobs. If you want to be your own person and you want to pretend to be I'm a strong, independent woman, then you fucking let talent succeed. Let talent succeed. Because I guarantee you one thing. I'm going to say one more thing. I guarantee you one thing, Stephanie. If you put the best women in the best matches and you let your daddy still book men's wrestling with John Cena masturbation thons, you will be better than your daddy. And deep down inside, that's what you want. Booms, your final thoughts on NXT?
There's actually a couple of things, and Mr. Jason 916 actually beat me to the punch on this on the comment section because I was saying it towards the end, but it was just announced, William Regal announced it, NXT TakeOver in Brooklyn. Tyler Breeze is going to wrestle, brace yourself, Dave, and I'm not kidding, Jushin Thunder Liger.
New Japan is fucking literally taking over New York City. You got Okada, Nakamura. I think there's another one. I'm not sure who the third guy is. But you got fucking Team Chaos, Okada, Nakamura, and fucking ROH. And now you got Liger and NXT. It's going to be absolutely amazing. I want to warn younger fans. Liger is 987 years old. I just want to warn you. In a barbershop. Okay, I have to go watch Coming to America because I referenced that fucking barbershop joke forever. But I was in a barbershop with Liger, and I said, "How old are you, really?" And he's like, "Just between you and me, 926 years old." 926 years old. No, but I still hope he has a good showing. And as a New Japan fanboy, I'm so happy. And hopefully, they can build a relationship. I'm going to wear my WWE business cap. I would make a deal and buy New Japan World. I wouldn't buy New Japan. I'd let them do their own thing, but I'd buy New Japan World and bring all that content to WWE Network. Because Boom Boom, I know you have a love-hate relationship with the network. Getting all the WWE pay-per-views and all the New Japan pay-per-views, plus that archive, I'm sorry. You're a fucking dumb motherfucker if you're not paying for that. I'm sorry. You're just not. And WWE has to do that. WWE could be a legit network and bounce back. And not only that, but New Japan World got hacked, I think maybe 2 weeks ago. So maybe it's a good time. And that would be amazing. All right. Boom.
And the last thing I want to mention here, and this is to answer Blood Wolf Assassin's question. My opinion on Ava Marie. She actually came out on this episode of NXT and let us know that she was going to wrestle the next week, and basically kind of I guess in a way kind of being condescending towards the fans because they know they hate her. I mean, she knows that they hate her. So if you ask me, it's like, look, on Total Divas, yes, because my wife watches it. Ava Marie.
Hold on. Sorry to cut you off. Wife. Go ahead. I had to do the air quotes. Go ahead.
Hey, don't even get me to mention how your wife got you to watch Sleepless in Seattle.
True story. It's not my proudest moment.
Yeah.
God.
On Total Divas, and I take Total Divas with a grain of salt because it's so fucking manufactured. But she's portrayed as a loner. She's like a backstabber. The rest of the girls resent her because it's like, hey, if she wasn't somewhat cute, then she would never have a job here. That kind of along those lines is how she's portrayed on Total Divas. If she got a lot of flack for pretty much sucking and goes into train with Brian Kendrick. Now, if she's like one of those, hey, people say I suck, I don't like that, I'm going to bust my ass to prove I'm wrong, she's actually got my respect for doing that. If she honestly wants to go in and train her ass off with Brian Kendrick to get better, because she's tired of the critics and she wants to do something about it, definitely got a lot of respect for her. And how I would book her, and I think this is how NXT is going to book her. Remember how Matt Hardy was booked when he went into Ring of Honor for the first time?
Yeah, that was really good. I didn't like Matt Hardy, but he had a good run in Ring of Honor.
Yeah, I had a great because they knew that the Ring of Honor crowd was not going to like Matt Hardy. They were not going to accept him, so they pretty much made him the lead heel.
Well, Jeff Hardy did recon on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Remember Jeff Hardy's reaction at Ring of Honor?
Yeah.
Give yourself a Barry Horowitz, Ring of Honor fans. Go on.
So that's what I would do. I would just say, you know what, these fans are not going to like Ava Marie, so let's not even bother making her a face. Let's bring her in as a heel, and let's just have her, shove it in their face. That's that's how I would do it. So I'm one of those. I'm going to let me see what she's got first before. Now, if she sucks next week, I will go on the show and be like, yeah, dude, she fucking sucks. She still sucks. We need to cut her. But I at least want to give her a chance first. So,
yeah, at least I'm intrigued. I'm very intrigued to see if she can wrestle. But if she's not better than Nikki Bella, I'd cut her like right there on the spot. But I know this sounds crazy, and Rob will fucking kill me for this. I don't think she's good looking enough not to be talented. Like I know she's attractive, but you have other attractive women that are more talented. I don't know. I might get some heel heat for that, but I don't think she's good looking enough for WWE standards to have zero talent. So she better bring something in that ring. Do you agree with me, or am I kind of out in left field?
Well, I think Dave is just our age is showing. Because face it, Dave, me and you, we're done chasing tail. I mean, we're not going to go
unless Lana calls, then I'll chase that.
Well, there's a difference. See, if it falls in your lap, that's one thing. But Dave, me and you are not going to go out and chase it. We're not going to go to bars. We're not going to spike our hair back and pop our collars and try to impress girls with our cars.
What are you talking about? This is why I do the podcast. I'm like, hey, baby, I'm on YouTube talking pro wrestling.
And that's why you sleep alone.
Very, very true story. Very true story. All right, where were you going with this before
I'm just saying that me and you, we're done doing that. So if any girl started giving us bullshit, we're like, dude, you're not even that fucking hot. Hit the fucking bricks. That's our attitude. Whereas I don't think other people have share that same attitude.
Gotcha. Yeah, and not that, but we also worked in television with models and stuff, and yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I've worked with all kinds of attractive people. I mean, hell, I worked with a former Miss Alabama, who, by the way, was a sweetheart, so I'm not going to say anything bad
Ain't
about
it weird? I know this sounds crazy as someone who works in television. Ain't it weird when they're super good looking and have a good personality? Like, it's such a weird thing, because, like...
Yeah, it is.
When I work in television, if you're a good looking dude or woman, I just assume you're a horrible person. It's a bad thing to assume. Like, if you look like, I don't know, Eva Marie. We'll just pick on her. You look like Eva Marie. I just assume you're not a good person. I don't assume you're dumb because, good-looking people go to school. I just assume you're not a good person. So, like, when someone is really good-looking and they're a good person, that's like the ultimate dinosaur. It's like, wow, amazing. All right, let's go on. I don't know why I compared women to dinosaurs.
I have no idea. I can't make that connection, Dave.
I couldn't think of I was thinking of some mythical creature that is hard to find.
Okay, Dave, you need to answer some questions. My computer's about to lock up, so
all right, no problem.
If I bounce out, it'll be for like 30 seconds, but I'll be back. But go ahead and read some comments here. I believe we left off with I think
I got a champ.
Okay.
Do some technical. Get the pig crew in there.
All right.
D-Rock at D_Rocks73. He's blowing up Twitter with at KocoSports. He says, I like Global Force Wrestling better because they have Cherry Bomb and Sonata Garretta and now Christina Von Airy. I don't know much about Global Force. I have to get into Global Force more. I meant TNA, not Lucha Underground. He says, Boom Boom. I doubt this guy is good. I'm with Dave. Cut him and bring up Yuha Nation. You hear that? What about Yuha Nation? He's not here. I'll remind him. What if Triple H buys WWN Live? Which there's a lot of rumors too. Good luck with that, Sal. And Shimmer ended up on the network. How awesome would that be? I would. Like, if I was WWE, I would. If you're going to put all your effort into the network, really put all your effort into the network. You can't be like, I'm a network, but I'm also Monopoly. A lot of people try to do that on YouTube. A lot of people try to do that on radio and all that. They're like, oh, let's have a network, and I'm the only person on the network. And it's like, no, you're not a network. You're just an asshole. I think they have to buy WWN Live. They have to buy New Japan World. I would have signed in Ring of Honor. And I've made this comparison a lot. WWE is like Nintendo in their prime. The reason why Nintendo's hurting is because Nintendo was a bunch of dicks. There used to be a Nintendo PlayStation. Microsoft and Nintendo used to be a team. Could you imagine if Nintendo, Microsoft, and Sony all worked on the same system? WWE has that moment now. I mean, just imagine New Japan World, WWE Live, all of it, like on a network. It would be amazing. So I hope Triple H and they do that, and FIP involved. Yeah. So they'd get all the WN content. Ricardo on Facebook says, I felt Impact was the weaker 4 shows, but it was still better than 3 hours of Raw. LOL. Yeah, Wednesday's way better than Mondays. Ultima Lucha will be awesome from Lucha Underground on August 5th. I'm going to give you a little like. Bam! Look at that. I'm just doing my part. And let's see. Mr. Jason 916 says Cesaro was awesome tonight. LB Clash of King, that stupid WWE didn't want Sexy Star because she wasn't pretty enough. That's stupid by WWE. Yes, it's very, very.
Yeah, remember WWE also passed on the Wolves.
Yeah. Well, the Wolves though, I think I don't know. There's like 3 different stories, but one of the stories, the one I like to believe. Like that's when you know you've been working in news too much. You're like, the one I'd like to believe is that one of them didn't want to give up their day job of saving lives. So
that'd have been Davey Richards.
Yeah. So I don't know how true that is. Everyone has a different story, but I'd like to believe that one. Mr. Jason 916, since Yushin Liger is going to NXT TakeOver Brooklyn, is that a bridge between NXT and New Japan? I hope so. I really do. And not only that, but Chris Jericho had a podcast with the booking team of New Japan while there at WWE, and from what I've read from Japanese news sources, that the New Japan guys were treated as guests in WWE at their last live event in Tokyo at Sumo Hall. So that would be amazing. And all that, but it's such perfect timing. New Japan, man, I'm so excited. Hopefully something good comes out. All right, we got some TNA comments. So let's break down another show, since you got technical things out of the way. And you're gonna take which show you want to go next?
Well, we got 2 left. We got Ring of Honor. We got TNA Impact. Which one do you want?
You want to go Ring of Honor since that's what's on first?
Yeah,
save TNA for the main event.
Okay, that's fine. We can do Ring of Honor here. So, Ring of Honor. This was taped. Let's see, in New York. Let's see here. The matches go as follows: Adam Page versus Matt Sydal. Then we followed that up with Silas Young versus Will Ferreira. Hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. And then the main event was Jay Lethal versus Mark Briscoe for the Ring of Honor television title.
So, yeah, sorry about that. I don't know. I enjoyed this ROH, but I thought it had a lot to do with the main event. I didn't really feel. You know who I'm not really feeling? The Silas Young guy. I don't know why. I'm not really feeling him.
You know, I like Silas Young. I really do. I think him and BJ Whitmer are the best heels on Ring of Honor in terms of they are genuine heels in the fact that people actually fucking hate them. They do not respect them. There is nothing redeeming about their characters. They are total sons of bitches. They would backstab you in a heartbeat. And it's just so hard to find just good bad guys like that. I mean, people are like, oh, well, what about Jay Lethal? No, you like Jay Lethal. People love Jay Lethal. There's always this mixed chance for Jay Lethal. Nobody's cheering for Whitmer. Nobody's cheering for Silas. They fucking hate them. And so I respect both Young and Whitmer for pulling that off.
Really? See, I'm not feeling it. Both those guys, I'm just not feeling. I don't know. I'm going to give them more time, but I'm just not feeling it. Big thing, our friends at Geek Essentials. Make sure to check out Geek Essentials. Geek Essentials did an ROH review. Go check it out. They really were hard on the commentary tonight. Do you think the commentary was bad? I I think Steve Corino is one of the best in the business, but I'm starting to get a little fucking tired of his whole son angle. Like, I don't give a fuck.
I don't know if that's what they're designed, what it's designed. You know, if that's where they're trying to push us to where we're frustrated with it, we're just as angry as Carino is. And it's like, God damn it, do something about it. We want to see this shit end. I don't know if that's what they're pushing for, or they're just, you know, beating this horse to death. That's where but I don't think the commentary was that bad. I think it was on par with the other shows they've been doing.
Yeah, and one thing I have to point, the Carino storyline, I don't give a fuck. I just think Carino is a great color commentator by heel. I don't give a fuck about his son. I don't give a fuck about this drama. So I hope when this storyline goes away, because I was kind of mad that it started right before their biggest pay-per-view of the year, or at least one of their biggest pay-per-views of the year. It started like a week on television right before the biggest pay-per-view of the year. And I was like, that's kind of weird. But I'm just not feeling the storyline. All right, let's talk matches. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, the first match was Matt Sydal versus Adam Page. There was some decent offense in there by both guys. Matt Sydal eventually gets his win back from Best in the World 2015 against Page with the Shooting Star Press. This ends when the Decade attacks Sydal. This brought out ACH. He was cut off though. The Decade, including Kobe Carino, started stacking chairs in the ring. Adam Page hit his finisher. It's like a reverse pile driver. He calls it the rite of passage. Dropped Sydal on his head on top of all those chairs. Of course, they called for medical assistance. So I thought it was a pretty good match. The thing went just shy of 10 minutes. So I think it was a good match. I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed the match. I hated the storyline. I'm starting to feel, hear me out, I'm starting to feel like Ring of Honor is a B-rate Lucha Underground. Think about it. When Prince Puma was held and they attacked Conan, you cared. Why the fuck would ACH even give a shit? Like, oh no!
Well, ACH was his tag team partner when these two teams met at Best in the World 2015.
Yeah, I'm just not
Sydal and ACH teamed up to take on Whitmer and Page. So he was just out there helping his buddy that was, had a 3-on-1 disadvantage, and I don't know, that didn't work out so well.
Yeah, I don't know. And not only that, but the Carino thing seems like a watered-down Vampiro thing. So, I don't know. But besides the ending, I enjoyed the match. It was two great athletes busting their ass. So, Matt Sydal, he does get the win, Shooting Star Press. I think a lot of people might forget that just because of the segment afterwards. All right, go ahead.
All right, next we had professional wrestling's last real man, Silas Young taking on Will Ferreira. Of course, Silas Young. Right now, he's engaged in a feud against Dalton Castle over the moniker "The Last Real Man." Ferreira, a young guy, really scrappy guy, really been jobbing a lot as of late, but he was hanging in there against Silas. I like the tornado DDT that he hit on Silas, but Young kicked out. There was a sunset flip into a power bomb. Silas again kicking out. Then Dalton Castle's quote unquote. It looked like Silas was about to get the win. He was going up for his finisher when Dalton Castle's boys, and I say that with quotation marks because that's what they're calling them. There's no sexual or racial slurs behind that one. I'm just saying that's what they're called. His boys, quote unquote, were on the ring apron taunting Silas. He dropped Ferreira, went over, clocked one, yanked the other one into the ring, DDT'd him. Then actually during the distraction caused Ferreira to roll up Silas Young for the victory, and then he got the hell out of the ring. Then Silas was incensed. That's when he hit one of the boys, and then grabbed the other one, DDT'd him off the middle rope. Then picked the same guy up and hit him with his finisher, Misery. It's a TKO. Kind of like an F5. It's about what it looks like, and completely laid him out. He's completely, just pissed off that he lost it, that he lost this match. So I think it was a pretty good match, and plus it furthers the storyline between Dalton Castle and Silas Young, but it also gave Will Ferraro a much needed win. This is somebody I think he needed to get some kind of win to kind of get some traction, get a little credibility in ROH, and I think that this match accomplished that.
Yeah, the Castle guy. There's a lot of people that they're trying to get more gimmicky, which I don't know. Ring of Honor, come on. But Castle's like the only Ring of Honor gimmick that is really sticking with me. I'm just like, dude, he's fun.
Yeah. Well, and the fans seem to like it. They're not shitty. I mean, Ring of Honor, trust me, those fans, if the ROH fans, if they don't like something, they're gonna fucking tell you. And they're embracing Dalton Castle, so
but he's really owning the character too.
Oh, absolutely.
He's really owning the character. Granted, it's Danny Sexbang, but that's okay. We love Danny Sexbang too. The only nitpick I have is why? Like, the boys are there, you're distracted, why not hit the finishing maneuver? Like, in Ring of Honor's credit, at least they were on the apron. If it was WWE, they would have been like in the back. They'd be like, we're stealing. Hey, you! Like, oh, I'm distracted. At least they were somewhat close, but the distraction thing, I think they go to the well way too many times on that, And, like, why? Why would he have dropped him? Why would he have let his guard down? There's two dudes staring at him. What is that? Well, there's no difference between the other 900 dudes staring at you in attendance. I don't get it. I don't get why you're distracted. Like, if they pulled your foot but at least they were on the apron.
Yeah, they were on the apron, and
at least they were on the apron. But still, it seems a bit weird. I think all of pro wrestling, they abuse the distraction thing way, way, way too much. All right, Boom's main event time.
Well, really quick during the Inside ROH segment.
How big were her boobs? They were unnaturally big. Like they were. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say this. I'm glad you brought this up, boobs, because I love talking boobs. They were so. I don't know. The woman who did the ROH Insider thing.
Yeah, it's Mandy Leon.
Dude, her boobs are so crazy big that I don't think she has a midsection. It's like face, boobs, legs. Like, it's just two giant boobs and like little legs walking around. Her boobs are humongous. I don't think that's what you were going to bring up, but go on.
No, I was like, but she recapped the whole situation between Cedric Alexander and Moose. Via Scott was actually out at ringside, and apparently this has been announced for Death Before Dishonor, their pay-per-view coming up later this month. So Vita Scott announced it's going to be Moose versus Cedric Alexander.
So, and it's a good storyline. It serves its point. I see where it's going. It'll be interesting to see. I don't know. I like the way Ring of Honor's been booking Moose. I really do. I enjoy him. They're really good at hiding his weaknesses. So I'm looking forward to the match.
Mm-hmm. All right. Next main event time at the House of Truth here. You had Jay Lethal taking on Mark Briscoe, put in the ROH Television Championship on the line. Of course, Jay Lethal winning the title from Mark's brother Jay at Best in the World 2015. So a great follow-up to that. A lot of shenanigans with this. Of course, when you deal with the House of Truth, you just don't deal with one, you deal with them all. Of course, Truth Martini looking to interfere. This brought out ODB. Donovan Dijak came out. Jay Diesel came out. This, of course, drew Jay Briscoe out. It landed to just kind of a free-for-all. Mark Briscoe hit Froggy Bow. But luckily, Jay Lethal was able to kick out. Well, I should say luckily. It makes me seem biased, but let's just face it. I didn't think Briscoe was going to walk out with the television title, at least not on a free show. This led to anyway, during a distraction, member of the House of Truth, I think it was Dijak, he low-blowed Briscoe. This allowed Lethal to hit the lethal injection, get the win. And then this led to the fallout from the match. This brought in Roderick Strong, and the challenge has been laid out for the 200th episode of Ring of Honor, at least for their television show. They're talking about doing an 8-man, the entire House of Truth versus the Briscoes, Roderick Strong, and ODB.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to that match. This was my favorite thing of the night. It was just a great match between two great guys, and how sexy is the lethal injection? That is just one awesome move. How smooth it is, just absolutely amazing. I'm a huge Roderick Strong fan. I'm a huge Briscoe fan. Just everything I like. I enjoyed this match a lot. I'm looking forward to the 5-on-5 match. I'm also looking forward to Jay Lethal versus Roderick Strong 1-on-1 because I think they booked where I think both guys need to win, and that's a good thing. Just like WWE with the tag team division. So overall, I enjoyed it a lot. The 4-on-4 thing for the ROH 200 show, it's not going to mean that much, but at least it has star power. And you know what? I know Ring of Honor doesn't have a women's division, but do they overhype their women for doing very little? Like, they treat ODB as a special attraction. I don't think ODB is a special attraction, in my opinion. And, oh my God, could they plug Maria anymore? I thought just New Japan, Maria has to have something in her contract. Because they'll be like, the greatest Ring of Honor stars of all time, CM Punk, Samoa Joe, Daniel Bryan, Nigel McGuinness, and Maria. Like, okay.
Well, what are you talking about? Because I don't remember seeing her on the show.
On the commercials. She's always mentioned. I'm talking about hype-wise. In New Japan, they're like, oh, here comes Maria and two other guys.
By the way, let me just say this since you brought it up. By the way, I love the commercial segments on Ring of Honor television because you've got Jay Lethal hawking for knee and back braces.
I really enjoy those commercials too.
Using as many wrestling idioms as possible. And then this is my absolute favorite. My absolute favorite is Silas Young advocating for super beta prostate. I'm not making this up. It's Silas like, I'm the last real man, and you need to keep a check on your prostate, and you can do it with super beta prostate. And I'm just like, you got to be fucking kidding. He does this shit trying to be tough. Trying to be tough and talks about your prostate. God, I love it.
Well, it is an important topic. All right, let's go to some live comments. I give Ring of Honor a week win. I'm giving everyone a week win tonight. Week wins for everybody. Bullet Club Big says, I'm digging the Florida Gators, Cap Coco. Hashtag Go Gators.
Don't worry, nobody's perfect.
Go Gators, baby. All right, on Twitter, D-Rock, someone said the Young Bucks is overrated, even calling the Generation Me. I don't know. I didn't enjoy the Young Bucks at first. It had to go. I know this is going to sound crazy, but I think they're overrated in a good way. Like, I think they're amazing pro wrestlers, but I think they're overrated more like because of hype. Like, it's just, I said this before, it's like the internet had twins. They're like, what is the IWC like? And they're like, let's just be everything they like. And to me, I don't know. I don't know if they're overrated. I just think they're hyped through the roof, but they're so enjoyable that they live up to the hype. And I think because of their style of wrestling and their style of, I think people are either going to love them or hate them. I don't think, and even the Young Bucks acknowledge this. There's going to be fans that absolutely love them and absolutely hate them, but they're going to sell merch and they're going to be exciting. I don't think they're overrated. I think they're underpaid and they're entertaining as hell. I just hope, I think maybe the last month or two, just my opinion, I think they've been a little stale. But I think that has more to do with New Japan booking than the Young Bucks. But I don't know. The Young Bucks have this feel that they are our guys. And not a lot of people can do that. Boom, do you have something to add about the Young Bucks?
No, I like the Young Bucks. I mean, I'm not absolutely in love with them, but I think that they do a good job adjusting to, they kind of give the crowd what they want. They do what they want. I mean, they're part of obviously the hottest stable in professional wrestling right now. They can pretty much wrestle anywhere in the world that they want. They've got a cool moveset. They've had a great feud with Red Dragon. They're tearing up New Japan right now, so I enjoy them. I mean, obviously they're not for everybody, but I enjoy them. I think they're very entertaining.
But I think they own that, and I think that's what makes them so much better. Like, I think a lot of, especially indie wrestlers, they're weak, and they got to be like, everyone needs to love me, or I'm gonna fucking complain on Twitter. I think they get it. They're like, oh, fuck it. I don't give a fuck if half the people hate me. Half the people absolutely love me. So I think they've mastered social media. I think they've mastered hype and media. And as a guy that, makes a couple pennies off marketing on his day job, that's just amazing. It's amazing. D-Rock says, I need to say this. Cheerleader Melissa is coming to Lucha Underground. I heard she's going to feud with Dark Lotus. I love Cheerleader Melissa. I don't know as much about women's wrestling as D-Rock does on Twitter, but I know Cheerleader Melissa is fucking awesome. All right. Boom, 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 ba-dum. Oh, come on. How hard is making a Japanese TV show? Stop asking me tough questions. I'm doing a podcast. All right. I don't know where the hell we left off. Boom, boom, boom. LB Clash of Kings. TNA, I think changed Tiger Uno's finish to that move he did on Slammiversary because Tiger kept botching his finisher. All right, we're going to talk about that. LB Clash of King, I don't get why Lucha Underground has problems with TNA using Hernandez when Lucha Underground is more of a TV show than a wrestling company. Plus, TNA offered Lucha Underground money to use him, and they were going to promote and mention Lucha on TNA programming. Welcome to the world of television.
Oh, yes, sir. Welcome to this crazy world.
Like in business, pro wrestling, everything makes sense. Dude, television, it's a different world, man. It is a different world. And yeah, it just no. That's why, like, a lot of people nowadays, people see it more often. But crossovers are really hard to do because of just television and rules and all that. Like, here's a crazy thing not a lot of people know. Michael J. Fox almost couldn't be in Back to the Future because of his television deal. They had to shoot. That's why a lot of scenes are done at night. In the original script, there wasn't as many night scenes, but he had to do Family Ties. And it's just crazy because, how iconic. No, it's just television. Like, even on the most local level, television doesn't matter. Like, I remember, I worked for live television, radio, and all that, and it was stepping on eggshells. Like, I remember Boom Boom understands this. I think Boom Boom was around then. I did television, and I did radio, and I wanted to do YouTube. I've always fell in love with YouTube, but I couldn't. Like, it's in your contract, especially if you're on-air talent, that you can't do YouTube. You can't, you know what I mean? And I'm just imagining, like, what if I did YouTube 5-6 years ago while still doing television? How much this channel would have exploded. Because you could have been on television, be like, oh, go check out my YouTube. Now, granted, times have changed, but still, television is television, and yeah, it's just people in the business world and people in pro wrestling world don't understand it. People that work in television are like, yep, nope, totally understand it, totally see it. They're fucking crazy. They're cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Mikey says Lucha Underground build for Ultima Lucha has been awesome. They have been winning each week. ROH and TNA are tied. The lineup on Destination America with these two promotions will take all negatives the WWE has placed on Pro Wrest via Raw. LOL. NXT was a good watch. Sasha and Charlotte are really a force to watch out in the women's division unless they fall victim to the WWE machine. I will be completely heartbroken if Charlotte and Sasha Banks fall victim. End up like every other stereotypical WWE diva, like Paige. And the WWE Tag Team Division needs a new change. So, I don't know. I don't know. The Tag Team Division is so close to being good. But, Booms, we've been doing this for a while. How long have we been saying the WWE Tag Team Division is so close?
At least, well, even when Team Hell No was the champions, we're like, yeah, this is probably the best it's going to be for a while. And sadly, we were right.
It's always so close to being good. may fuck it up. Adrian Corrente said, who should be the one to end EC3's undefeated streak? Ricochet, Jay Briscoe, Bobby Roode, Jeff Hardy, Goldberg, AJ Styles, others never. This is just me. I would not even plan that far ahead. I would make him undefeated until you locked up a television deal. Like, that's it. Because, like, wherever they go, I think, I don't know. I just, that's what I would do. I would have EC3 be champion until the company is on solid grounds. And then, I mean, obviously Ricochet would be awesome, but I don't know how that's going to work with Lucha Underground. Google screwed up YouTube. Good evening, gentlemen. No problem. Sorry, I'm late. I injured my shoulder trying to hype up the crowd before my Raw debut against Cena. Too soon. Too soon.
Yes.
Surely that my vanilla build or my dumbass wrestling gear won't keep me from reaching for that brass ring. Google screwed up YouTube. Why? That'll hurt us.
Yeah, why you gotta be so mean?
Malik Douglas says, Alex Riley is a fucking joke. He's just, here's the thing. Dear Alex Riley, are you really that much of a douchebag asshole, or do you just say anything so people will recognize you? Because let's be completely honest. Who the fuck is Alex Riley except for saying stupid ass shit on Twitter once or twice a month? No one. He's a fucking loser. Google screwed up YouTube. Long comment here. It's okay. We're about long comments on the show. But how beautiful was the Sasha Banks versus Charlotte match? I thought it was match of the night. I know WWF women aren't as good when they compare to Japan and Shimmer and all that, but the passion they put in their match legit made me stand up and clap at the end. I think Charlotte and Sasha Banks could hold their own. You know, I know maybe D-Rocks might disagree with me or super women fans, but I think Charlotte and Sasha Banks could hold their own anywhere. From Charlotte firing up with chops to Sasha doing the flare strut for good old heel heat, I loved it. Just their facials alone told a great story about how bad each one of them wanted to win. The fact that they legit shed tears brought me into it. Match of the year candidate for women. I don't know, because they had a better match earlier this year, right? Was that this year?
Yeah, that four-way.
Was that this year, though?
Yeah, that was this year.
Okay. I'm really bad with time. I'll be like, let me tell you something. The Fabulous Moolah had a great match this year. And you're like, Dave, that was in the 70s. I'm like, oh, okay.
Dave gets punched in the head a lot.
Yeah. Rick, 1982. This will be our last comment, then we'll go to TNA, and then we'll go to some live comments after TNA. I was shocked to see Bengala getting the win against Davari on Lucha Underground. X Division title match was entertaining, minus the botched finish from Tiger Uno. And NXT women's title match was great, and ROH has a pretty good show. Overall, all four shows combined were better than the 3 hours of Raw. And I think we can all agree on that. You're getting a thumbs up now. You're getting a thumbs up for that. All right, thanks, Rick, 1982. All right, Boobs, let's break down TNA, and then we'll go to comment time, and then we'll go eat lunch.
All right, so, well, you're going to eat lunch. I'm going to go to bed.
Time zones, they can be so much fun.
Yes, they can. Let's see real quick here. Okay, from TNA Impact, we find out that Bully Ray has been hired by Dixie Carter to, quote-unquote, lay down the law as Ethan Carter III begins his reign as TNA World Heavyweight Champion. Dixie Carter, of course, dresses all the talent. So Bully Ray, quote-unquote, lays down the law and creates a 20-man battle royal where the winner would get a shot against EC3 later in the evening. I'll tell you what, let me just run down everything. You got the 20-man over-the-top battle royal. Then you had the X Division Championship. It was a four-way bout. It was Tigre Uno, Rockstar Spud, DJZ, and Grado. Brooke versus Taryn Terrell. Ethan Carter III, and, well, hell, I'll go ahead and spoil it now. He took on Drew Galloway, who won that previously mentioned 20-man over-the-top battle royal. So, all in all, I think it was a weak win. It was a decent show. I didn't like the ending of the main event, but I think it's I think it's set up for something else, and I think it's going to set up a side feud for Drew Galloway to kind of get him out of the world title picture. But anyway, let's see. We had the 20-man over the top battle royal won by Drew McIntyre. Then Kurt Angle delivered a speech about his health. And by the way, I do want to wish Kurt Angle a speedy recovery. He had to go back and have emergency neck surgery. I think they were removing a tumor, and then they had some fluid built up on his neck, so to have emergency surgery to have that drained. So don't know how long he's going to be out. So hopefully he'll recover quickly and make a full recovery. So Godspeed, sir. Then let's see. We had Eric Young interrupt that promo for a write-off. Let's see. Brooke Tessmacher upset Taryn Terrell. I don't know if I call it an upset, but beat Taryn Terrell, snapped her winning streak, and has become the new Knockouts champion. Tigre Uno successfully defended his X Division title in a 4-way. Magnus and James Storm went into an unsanctioned fight. Storm, this was like a huge street fight, and for an unsanctioned fight, James Storm got the win. I think the whole if something's an unsanctioned fight, and again the whole unsanctioned part, how can you have a winner and a loser? I thought it was just a fight. This is an unsanctioned fight. We don't want anything to do with this. So you two will take up our TV time. You will go out and you'll beat the crap out of each other. And then, oh, by the way, there's one of you's going to win, one of you's going to lose. What the fuck?
Yeah. All right, let's break this down. First off, I give it a weak win. I thought there was one thing that really upset me, and we'll get to that. But I have to give props, and normally I don't do this. I thought the opening promo was amazing. As a guy who's been watching TNA, I really enjoyed the opening promo. I thought there was working the crowd with shoot Fabe enough to be like, all right, thank you. Like, I don't know. I thought Dixie Carter and Bully Ray in this segment, I thought fans that stuck through the really shitty Hogan era deserved that. You know what I mean? Especially after Dixie's millions of mistakes. You know what I mean? I think she deserved it. Now, granted, it could all be an act, all that, but still, you have to give fan service sometimes, and I thought that's what this was. And not only that, but I don't read spoilers, and who the fuck didn't think it was Jeff Jarrett? Like, I mean, I don't even know if this wasn't live. I didn't see any spoilers, but everyone I saw, like, oh, it's Jeff Jarrett. Of course it's Jeff Jarrett. So when it was Bully Ray, I was kind of shocked by that. And I normally don't give props to Dixie Carter, and I normally don't give props to opening promos. But I thought this was one of the better opening promos that I've seen in a really long time. And I think TNA fans needed this and deserved this.
Absolutely. I was not really buying the melodrama from Dixie Carter because I just did not see any sincere.
Oh, she's a horrible actress.
It was horrible. It was not even sincere, but I was kind of surprised that it was Bully Ray. He came back. I mean, what a hell of a year it's been for Bully Ray. I mean, he made a surprise appearance at the Royal Rumble earlier this year. It looked like they were shaping up for maybe like a teasing a match later this year from it was supposed to be Harper and Rowan taking on the Dudleys, but that hasn't panned out. So now he's back in TNA, and I like the whole addressing the talent, and telling them to get up on the ring apron. Hey, we're all equal here, and it led to something, a 20-man over the top battle royal.
But if you've been a TNA fan for a while or been watching the product for a while, you needed this as a pick-me-up. Everything you read online is horrible. Everything Dixie Carter's doing is horrible. Kayfabe-wise, you're like, oh, the bad guys win. I honestly think this is a segment that the TNA fans and TNA watchers needed and deserved. So after that, Bully, just cut in Booms when you want to talk. I apologize. I thought you wanted to talk there for a second. After that, you have the number one contenders for TNA World Heavyweight Title, 20-man Battle Royal. I thought this was a great idea on paper. I understand the storyline. I just don't give a fuck. And I'm going to say it now. Dun, 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 dun! I hate fucking Drew Galloway. There's no difference between Drew Galloway and John Cena. Matter of fact, I don't know. Like in the Indies, I know there's some European fucker that's like, Drew Galloway was amazing on the fucking Indies. He's the Evolve champion. He's the fucking Tampa All-Pro champion. He collects indie titles. I'm just not buying it. And not only that, but then Eric Young eliminates MVP. You could save this shitty fucking match by having MVP eliminate Eric Young, but MVP's like, fuck it, I don't give a shit. And then, of course, fuck Drew Galloway.
Man, that final elimination was kind of hard to believe.
I fucking hate Drew Galloway. I didn't hate Drew Galloway, but the whole stand-up, I just don't give a fuck. TNA, in my humble opinion, would be a million times better if Drew Galloway just walked away. Is he a great Evolve champ? I don't know. Is he a great fucking North Nebraska fucking East-West champion? Possibility. But in TNA, he fucking blows. Moving on. Booms, you got anything to add to the Battle Royal?
No, nothing else about the Battle Royal. Other than the final elimination was kind of hard to believe.
Yeah.
I'll say this. I'll say that Eric Young sold it for everything it was worth and then some, but there's a little in the stretch.
Yeah, I think Eric Young needs to be respected more. I think he's a really hard worker. I think his second heel run, his first one was garbage, but his second heel run's been amazing. He's been busting his ass, and it always seems like I'm here to put over former WWE guys. Like, I think Eric Young doesn't have to be champ, but he definitely deserves to be respected more.
Mm-hmm.
Kurt Angle's, they talk about the Hall of Fame. Listen, I've been saying this for years. Boom Boom will tell you. If that Hall of Fame member is not Jeff Jarrett, it doesn't count. None of these Hall of Famers. Bully Ray's not a Hall of Famer. Sting's not a Hall of Famer. Kurt Angle's not a Hall of Famer. The Dudleys are not a Hall of Famer, whatever. No one is a Hall of Famer until Jeff Jarrett gets in the Hall of Fame. Because it's utterly insane that Jeff Jarrett's not a Hall of Famer. Same thing with AJ Styles, but, it has to be like, if you have a TNA Hall of Fame, a legit TNA Hall of Fame, and you're not Jeff Jarrett, AJ Styles, you're wrong. You're absolutely wrong. Now, if you're like, well, AJ Styles, then Jeff Jarrett, okay, you got me. But the fact that Jeff Jarrett and AJ Styles is not in the TNA Hall of Fame, it doesn't exist until Jeff Jarrett and AJ Styles are there. That's just my opinion. Fuck Drew Galloway segments. There, just fuck it. He had a segment. He's a fucking douche there. X Division champion. Boom, boom. I've said it before. I'm gonna bring this point home. I love Grado.
Well, that makes sense. I don't like Grado.
The reason why is because you don't understand how great Grado is, because TNA is badly booking him. Grado is a comedy gimmick that should be on his own in a feud with someone who's serious. He should be going against a heel Magnus. He should be going like a mid-card heel. He should be going against mid-card heels. That's where his fucking money is. Putting him in the X Division makes the X Division look bad. It makes Grado look bad. Stop it. Stop it now. It's like, here's peanut butter. Here's a car battery. Boom, boom. You need both. Eat the fucking peanut butter on the car battery. No. Stop it, TNA. Grado is amazing at entertainment. The X Division is amazing at matches. Do not mix the two ever again. Ever again. And I love Grado, but I will fucking piss in Grado's goddamn mouth if he's in another fucking X Division match. I will piss in his fucking mouth. Not a bad match.
By the way, let me address something here with Tigre Uno. They did like a little segment, and I'm hoping this is not going to get way off topic, but it was on the show. They started playing, I thought it was still a commercial, but they were playing like quotes from Donald Trump, he made about Mexico recently, and then they said, next week, Tigre Uno addresses Donald Trump. Like his comments, and I'm like, TNA, this is a huge mistake. Now, if it's one of those, if Tigre Uno comes up there and says, okay, I'm going to address what Donald Trump said about Mexico, then somebody's music comes hits, and somebody comes there and goes, yeah, you and all your people are coming over here stealing our jobs.
Like a new JBL character.
Yeah, and it leads to a feud, like immediately. Okay, I can have some, but if he actually goes out there and legitimately addresses Donald Trump, or Trump's comments, it's not like Trump's going to show up there and it's going to be a one-on-one. But
well, not only that, but Donald Trump's like best friends with Vince McMahon.
Yeah, there you go. But I think it's a huge mistake because here's the thing. Whenever you do anything, okay, there's an exception to the rule. Okay, if you're a Rush Limbaugh or Randy Rhoads or Alan Combs or Sean Hannity, yeah, you can get away with it because that's pretty much what your audience expects. You know what you're getting. It's like McDonald's. You know what you're going to get before you even go in there, so it's no shock. But when you do stuff like when you bring that stuff into pop culture, like into music or television or movies or books or what have you, if you're not typically known as a political person or whatever, and you come out, it doesn't matter what side you come out on any issue, you automatically alienate half of your audience. And I think Destination America, a lot of their audience is that blue collar demographic that maybe would kind of tend to agree with Donald Trump. And you've got a good guy here, oh yeah, obviously going to take exception to Donald Trump's comments. At least I'm assuming so. And I'm thinking this is a huge mistake because either he needs to get interrupted immediately before he can say anything and it lead to a feud. Because if not, I really feel like this is a huge mistake.
I don't think this is planned out. I think this is covering for Hernandez. I don't think it's going anywhere. I think they're like, oh, Donald Trump is trending. We have a Mexican champion. I imagine he's Mexican. I haven't checked out his birth certificate. And we got to fill up time where Hernandez was. I honestly think this is a huge mistake. Unless what Boom Boom said. If a JBL character comes out, then okay, yeah, you build the feud. It's interesting. But if it's like a masked luchador saying, I got to fill up time, and Donald Trump said mean stuff about my people, and that's not right. Like, I don't see where it could benefit anybody because I don't think people – because to me, I could be wrong. I think people watch pro wrestling to get away from that stuff, to be entertained, to relax. And I think, there's one thing that Americans love, and that's their politicians. They fucking love their politicians. Guys, pump your brakes, okay? All right, pump your brakes and loving your politicians so much. I think this could backfire, but I don't know if it was planned. I imagine this is it. This is my theory. Hernandez, they have to fucking cover for him. Trump's in the news. I got an idea. That's a segment that could cover where Hernandez was. That's my theory. I could be wrong. Because not only that, but it was a commercial where they added.
No, I think they would have done this with or without Hernandez. Because from what I understand, they had a lot of stuff in the can involving Hernandez, and so they're going to have to cut out all the Beatdown Clan's stories.
And that's sad because
according
to what I heard, Beatdown Clan was finally getting that damn push I've been begging for.
Yeah, you mentioned that earlier, and I'm thinking the stuff that's going to be covered up, it's going to be blatantly obvious. You're going to see promote, advertisements for the Hall of Fame. You're going to see classic, quote unquote classic matches or recaps, something in the place of where our Hernandez or Beatdown Clan segment was going to be. So I think this maybe was planned out. I just think
it really breaks my heart. The more I think of it as a wrestling fan, it just breaks my heart that TNA and Lucha Underground couldn't get along. As a fan, you wish all the companies got along.
So I don't think it's anything towards to cover it for Hernandez. I just think it's TNA goes, well, this is what's going on. It's a pop culture thing. It's a current event thing. Let's try to. It's a relevant, in news. Let's try to drag it into our company here. Try to put us into the mainstream. At least that's my thinking behind it.
I honestly think, this is my theory, I honestly think it's time filler. I think they had to figure out something, and they're like, this could fill up time. All right, moving on. The Knockouts Championship. This is the one that pissed me off. This is the one that fucking pissed me off.
Here's
I'm happy that Gail Kim returned.
Yes, but here's what pissed me off. I didn't like the end. I just didn't like the end. I had no problem with the match itself. I had no problem with Brooke capturing the Knockouts title. I just hated the end because it was so fucking cheesy. It was just the lights go off, the lights come back on. Oh my God, Jade's knocked out. Who's this woman? Oh, it's Gail Kim. She's back. And then she beats up Marty Bell on the outside. The lights go out. She disappears. To me, that was just so cheesy. they kept doing what they were doing, and then just have, Gail Kim's music hit as she runs out, does the exact same thing she does, takes out Jay, then takes out Marty Bell, and just kind of points to Terrence Terrell like, okay, it's one-on-one now. You go get her, girl. And then, then Brooke, gets the win. I mean, they could have done everything. I think it would have worked, but this was just – I just thought it was really too cheesy.
I disagree. It's so funny because we both dislike the match for different reasons.
Mm-hmm.
The Gail Kim lights going out doesn't bother me. Brooke being champion bothers me. I'm happy Gail Kim is back, and why?
Well, they have to because Terrence Terrell's done with the company.
Oh, fuck! See, that's what sucks about TNA falling apart. Oh, that sucks. I went from angry to. Well, if that's the case, if Terrence Terrell's really done with the company, A, sad. But B, yeah, just have Gail Kim beat her. Wouldn't it have been a lot better? Gail Kim comes out, man. No fucking dumb. Come on, TNA, help me, just help me enjoy you. But yeah, that sucks.
Boom,
but
boom.
I was very disappointed.
I think I just got my slogan now. Boom, boom. Preventing Dave from looking like a horse's ass since 2009.
Yeah, very true. But the thing is, it pisses me off because just do it. All right, let's see. Angle's announcement. Fucking that happens. Basically, he's going to get a rematch, but in real life, for those that I keep track of, you can check it out on KocoSports.net. Angle had a really big health scare.
Yeah, it's horrible.
They had a TNA Slammiversary replay. I imagine this replay. We already did this.
Yeah, I think that's where the Beatdown Clan was supposed to go.
That's what I imagine. And then you have the TNA World Championship. Dun, 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 dun! Drew fucking Galloway versus Ethan Carter III. I was really scared. I don't know why. I was just scared that fucking Drew Galloway was going to win the title. And let me tell you, I would fucking walk away. I would walk the fuck away from this shitty-ass product. That would be like the straw that breaks the camel back. I mean, there's so much good things about TNA, but Drew Galloway winning the fucking title, I'd fucking wash my hands of this fucking shit.
He didn't win the title.
I know. But that's what I was thinking when the match happens.
Yeah, well, I mean, I didn't think. I mean, come on. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with this. I mean, they had McIntyre win a 20-man over the top. He's got a little momentum with him. He has the match. Then we had the big swerve. Eli Drake turned on McIntyre, hit him with the crutch. Apparently, he was faking that leg injury. This allows EC3 to hit the 1%er, gets the win. This is perfect because now it allows EC3 to take on the next challenger. This now puts McIntyre in a feud with Eli Drake, and we want to know why Eli Drake did what he did. So there's a little side feud going on right there. I mean, I think it was the best they could have done under the circumstances. Especially, I love the way it was set up. I mean, over the top battle royal could have been anybody. This all happens. Everybody saves face in this.
All right, so there you go. Congratulations, EC3. And TNA, you have a lot of roadblocks, and hopefully you can still put on good shows during those roadblocks. Good luck, sir and ma'am. All right, let's go. You have live comments, and then wrap this bad boy up for lunch in bed.
Yes, live comments.
Lunch in bed? Bullet Club Biggs on Google Plus says, Jay Lethal's my dude. I like how ROH has him as dual champion. I like that, too.
Yes, I
love
enjoy
Roderick
that.
Strong. I love Jay Lethal and Roderick Strong. That pay-per-view is going to – I don't know who to rate. Bullet Club Big says the Young Bucks are a tad bit overrated, plus they overused the super kick. I get it as a part of their whole gimmick. It's going to get played out. I am smitten with Jade, a.k.a. Medium. I love Medium. And Marty Bell, who really needs Terrence Terrell. I just love the dollhouse. This fucking breaks my goddamn
Yeah, I do like the dollhouse.
It just, man, come on. All right. But the other thing in the KocoSports Internet Infantry chat, we have to push that more. D-Rocks is rocking Twitter. We're called @D_Rocks73 is the king of Twitter. Devin Taylor is a better wrestler than Dana. I hope they feud. Sasha was in the Indies as also Bailey, Becky, and Paige were in Shimmer before 2012. Yeah, Paige was awesome back then. I hate Grado. Look up British Boot Camp, Nikki Storm. That is why I hate Grado and Mandrews. I watched British Boot Camp. I thought, that's funny. TNA's Boot Camp is a million times better than WWE's Tough Enough. I can't even watch Tough Enough. It's bad. I watched the first episode, and I'm like, okay, I watched it. And I'm like, I'm done. I'm just done. All right, I'm going to refresh. Boom, boom. We're 14-0, baby. 14-0. 2 more, and we're undefeated going into the playoffs. All right, we definitely clinched our division.
Yep, yes we did.
All right, let's see. Boop, 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 boop. All right, right here. Total nonstop action. This week's win or losses. WWE loss. Lucha Underground, you're going to watch now. ROH win. TNA loss. NXT can't get it into it, even with Joe there. I usually watch the live specials, though. All right. I said because the NXT, you should have seen the women's match. That was pretty amazing. But the rest, rest was definitely skippable. I am Mikey, Mike Ashman. WWE and NXT just sent out breaking news tweet announcing international wrestling Yushin Liger. Okay, we talked about that already.
Yep.
We already talked about that. LB Clash of Kings, fact or fiction? You ready, Booms?
Yes.
Eva Marie will prove everyone wrong, and it shows she's improved a lot when she has her debut on NXT next week.
Ooh, I mean, you don't really want me to put. I mean, honestly, I don't know. The only thing I've seen is like a 30-second clip of her wrestling a sequence with Brian Kendrick. That's all I've seen from that segment. I mean, from what little I saw, it was good, but I mean, I can't make that assessment until we actually just fucking see her. I have to see it.
I'm going to say fiction, but I think there's going to be so many wrestling fans that like fucking defending bad women's wrestling. I'm looking at you, Nikki Bella fans, that they'll say. Like, I think she's going to let us down, but I think there'll be YouTubers that are absolutely obsessed with WWE divas saying that she did a good job. Dalton Castle is the real last man, not Silas Young from Ring of Honor. I'm saying facts. Facts, baby. Dalton Castle. I love Dalton Castle. I would love Dalton Castle more than a straight man should. Oh, that's old school. I haven't said that in a while.
Yeah.
Graham was the only real star potential from the Ascension who actually is showing he's a star.
Fact.
I have no idea. I have no opinion. I fucking hate Graham. Maria is better wrestler and Mike Talker in ROH than both Bella twins. Yeah, that's an easy fact.
Mike Talker, yes. Wrestler, no, because she doesn't wrestle.
The whole thing about being a better talker, like there's people that in Japan, they tell you there's a sale. They're like, they cut better promos. The homeless guy yelling at you while you walk to school about fucking aliens taking over his brain cut better promos than the Bellas. A dog shitting. The sound of the shit.
Okay, Dave. Okay, Dave, we get it.
Move on. I don't know how long that was going to go. Thank you for stopping me. I was in an N-word cycle of shitting on the Bellas. Lucha Underground. Johnny Mundo will win Lucha Underground top title in their promotion in season 2.
Fiction.
I'm going to say fiction just because I don't know enough details about it, but I'm going to say fiction. Patrick is the only star of the season of Tough Enough that will actually be something in the business, and he won't be a joke winner.
I don't watch that show, so I can't say anything.
I'm going to say weak fact because for what little I've seen, he seemed impressive. I thought the Tanner guy was pretty good, but I don't know. People boo now. I don't watch that show. But I'd like to see Patrick win. From the one episode and 2 commercials that I've seen, it makes me a Tough Enough expert. He seems like he's got his shit together. 7. Triple H will have an argument with Stephanie. Divorce her, take NXT and make it his own company outside WWE, and then he will eventually start back dating China or date Ronda Rousey. Fiction. He's not getting NXT.
Fiction. Don't trust me. He knows where his bread's buttered.
Yeah. There will be at least 10 elite courses between Boo Boo and Coco before the end of this week's Super Show review. I don't know. We did 3 elite courses for the first time ever. So, I don't know. I think there's only been 1 or 2 elite courses this episode. There was 3 back to back to back.
Oh, I know.
Times for us nerds. I say fiction. We're at comment time.
Fiction. I don't think we can get better. Like, I think we've only done 4.
Because unlike WWE, we don't fake our elite courses. Emma is WWE's version of Rogue from X-Men movies.
That is fiction because that is blue pants.
Yeah, and not only that, but I miss Emma. Like heel Emma just isn't working for me.
I still love heel Emma.
Karma has a big booty than Naomi, Brooke, or Rosie Lottalove. Well, Rosie Lottalove lost a lot of weight. She's like a fitness girl now. She's a really kind person. She worked for one of my companies. She's a very wonderful person. I wish they gave her more success. Yeah, Karma has a big booty, I assure you. Fact. Boom, boom.
Yeah, fact.
Well, boom. You're not taking these booty questions seriously enough, sir. We have a responsibility to the audience.
Yes, we do.
Blake and Murphy will be jobber tag team when they get to the main roster.
If they get to when? God, he's an optimist.
John Cena, Bella Twins, and Ascension is soft compared to Enzo Amore, Big Cass, and Carmella. Fact.
Fact, baby.
Fact. Oh,
and you can't teach that.
I used to hate him. But now I fell in love with him. Rob showed me the way. Because like, I told this story a million times, but I'll tell it one more time. And I first saw him, I was like, fuck these guys. These are just punk-ass bitches talking shit. And Rob goes, you're from New Jersey. That's exactly who you would have hung out with in high school. And I'm like, no, I love these guys. Reminds me of home. Total Nonstop Action says NXT lost their main guys to the main roster. Don't get me wrong. They still have Joe, Kenta, and Devitt, but I don't know. NXT feels like it's missing that spark. Well, they also have a lot of injuries and people going up, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And all that, but I think they got in a groove of, this is just my conspiracy theory, but it's a pretty strong conspiracy theory. I think they didn't want to have good NXT shows going into WrestleMania, and then they're like, oh, we forgot to turn it back on. Samoa Joe versus Axel Axman Tischer, who wrestles for West Side Extreme Wrestling in Germany, was a pretty good match. Yeah, me and Boom Boom got all
testy
on that one. A little testy. Rick 1982 is taking your side on this one. I am Mikey Ashman said TNA wrestling star and former WWE legend Kurt Angle's been we've read here we go. Here's something new. I am Mikey. Some Yuha Nation NXT news. I really hope he's being used for the upcoming Brooklyn show. So I just hope he shows up, period. Yuha Nation is... Oh, by the way, speaking of Yuha Nation, let's see. D-Rocks took my side and said Yuha Nation should have been wrestling instead of fucking German McGerman. That's not...
maybe they're going to... Well, no. And let me tell you why I disagree with that. Is I think...
Did you just leak Corso D-Rocks?
Yes, I did. Not so fast, my fellow friend. Uha Nation is a big deal. I mean, they made a big deal about his signing, and you just don't throw him out there randomly against Samoa Joe in a 3-minute squash match on a, just unadvertised on NXT. No, you promote that. I mean, why not debut him at TakeOver this August? Why not do that instead? I mean, make some pomp and circumstance about it. I think he deserves a little bit more respect than that. But that's just me.
Well, I don't think it would have been a squash match, I assure you. It would have been an amazing match, but yeah. He was originally advertised as part of the latest class of recruits back in April following WrestleMania. I don't think it's happened with the former Dragon Gate star. The company tapes a month worth of television shows this week, so it's also possible that they could bring him in a bit early and build towards his first big match at TakeOver itself. Yuha is one of the many stars set to get focused on in Q4 of 2015. Great, that's great news. Along with NXT champion Finn Balor, the NXT tag champs.
Good God. His comments just keep going.
Yeah, Enzo Mori, Big Cass, Kenta, and Alex Bliss and Mojo. With the transition won't be immediate. That seems to indicate Sasha Banks, Charlotte, and Becky Lynch will be winding down their time on Wednesday nights and be featured more on the WWE main roster. All right. Obviously, losing all three of them at once would be a huge blow to the division. And Kevin Owens has proven you can do both at the same time for a while at least. But there is a noticeable push to better feature Bliss, Brooke, and Bayley, the focal point of the women's division. Man, that's a step down. And even Carmella, who has been getting a bit more ring time. More fact or fiction. All right, LB Clash of King. Here we go. WWE will say Sami Zayn and Kenta are too injured prone as an excuse for why he'll never win the world title.
Fiction.
Well, I don't think they'll use it as injury prone. I think they'll use it. He's too small and Asian. You know what I mean? I don't think it's good.
Sami Zayn is too Middle Eastern and Canadian.
Yeah. What? Bayley will hug everybody on NXT and main roster in her WWE career.
Fact.
I wish Bayley hugged me. Which was better women's main event match? Mickie James versus Tara in a steel cage match, TNA, or Sasha Banks versus Charlotte and versus Charlotte NXT? I'm going to say Sasha Banks, Charlotte, but I'm probably going to get some heel heat from TNA fans for that.
I didn't see the TNA match, so Sasha and Charlotte.
Justin Bieber will eventually have a match or segment on WWE. I think fact. His career is coming down, and people.
I would say fact, because it sounds like something WWE would try to do.
Karen Jarrett is a better human being than Stephanie McMahon. That's
fact.
That's not hard. Fact. Bella Twins will get inducted in the Hall of Fame before AJ Lee, Charlotte, or Sasha Banks in the future.
Fact.
Sadly, fact. Total Divas won't make it to season 10, and it will be canceled. I don't know. It gets good ratings. I think fiction. I think they'll drag that shit out forever. Vince, well, what season are they on now?
I think it's like season 4, I think.
Oh, so we still got a long way to go.
Yeah.
I'm going to say fact, but I'm not as confident. I thought it was like on season 8 or some shit.
Well, how would you know? You don't watch it.
I know I don't. That's why I was wrong. Don't try to get me with a ha-ha moment. Like, I knew you watched Total Divas. That's what you tried to do.
Yes, I was trying to do that.
I see commercials on Raw. That's enough to know I hate it. Vince McMahon cares about pro wrestling. He's not racist to blacks, Mexicans, or Asians. That's. I mean, he might care about pro wrestling a little bit, but he's definitely a racist, like, without a doubt. Triple H goal for NXT is to put all other outside companies, both big alternatives and indies, out of business. That's fact. I think they've even said that.
I would say fiction. I would say fiction because where are you going to get the next big talent from if all the indies and all the territories are out of business?
WWE Network is actually be a network with multiple different outsources company styles like New Japan, TNA, Ring of Honor, AAA, Lucha Underground, etc. Yeah, imagine the headlines. TNA signs deal with WWE Network. How many TNA fans would not know what to do? I think their heads would explode. But yeah, I would definitely.
I would say fiction because here's the thing: if you're AAA or Ring of Honor or Lucha Underground, how are you going to agree on royalties?
I'll just get paid up front like a regular network. Same thing with ESPN. Run it like a real network.
Dave, you've constantly said WWE's not the business of being awesome. That would be awesome.
That is true.
They're not in the business. And plus, I mean, trust me. And plus, do you really think Lucha Underground's going to give them their tape library? I mean, do you think they would even begin? I mean, why?
I think Lucha Underground's the easiest one to make the jump because it's already done. It's a season.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, Booms. I want to believe, Booms. I don't want to drain on your parade of reality, but I want to believe in a world where WWE runs the network like a network. You can point and laugh at me now. Speaking of pointing and laughing, I swear we didn't do this on purpose. Blood Wolf Assassin says, points and laughs at Dave. Ha ha ha, Sleepless in Seattle. I don't mind watching what people call chick flicks, as long as they're well written. But dude, Sleepless in Seattle is garbage. Garbage. It's not as bad as Twilight, though. We've had this debate. I had to watch Twilight after I lost a bet.
You had to watch it alone.
Yeah, I did. That was the bet. You remember that? I think did I lose that against you?
Yeah, it was against me. It was I forgot what it was over, but there was this bet, and the bet was that whoever lost had to watch like the other guy, other worst movie, but we had to watch it alone because by God, nobody was getting laid over it.
Yeah, and I had to watch Twilight by myself, and God, it's bad. Like, and you know, there's good women writers out there, and good women like literature. I don't know what's the word I'm looking for, but stuff dedicated towards women. There's really good stuff out there. Twilight is not that stuff. Andy Papp says, bigger bust, Bram or Adam Rose? That's tough. That's really tough. I'm going to say Adam Rose because ESPN hot-shotted that. You know what I mean? And Bram still has potential. I don't think Adam Rose has
I'm gonna go with Adam Rose.
Yeah. That was a good question,
That was.
LB Clash of Kings. I think Eva Marie is like redhead version of Tori Wilson because if you put two pictures of them side by side, they look like twins. If Eva dyes her hair blonde, that's a possibility. But I'm going to say something completely mean. There's people that look good in television and cameras, and then there's people that look good in real life. Tori Wilson's only one of those. There are some women that look amazing on television, but when you meet them in real life, you're like, oh, you're photogenic. That's a nice way of saying you're not as good looking. But then there's the opposite. Like Molly Holly doesn't look as good in television, and she's beautiful in person. I feel bad. I feel bad. Like this might get back to what's her face? Who was it? Tori Wilson. Yeah, I'm sorry, Tori Wilson, if you're watching. If you're watching 3 hours into a podcast. Rinny Som says, there's a lot of sexism towards Sexy Star and intergender matches in Lucha Underground. It's funny the way people bitch and moan. You would think it's Nikki Bella and the Divas of WWE Wrestling in Lucha Underground or something. Your thoughts, guys?
I don't think it's sexist or misogynistic. I mean, if anything else, I mean, if it was just women versus women, it would just be nothing but Sexy Star versus Eva Lise, because those are the only two active female wrestlers they have right now in Lucha Underground. And plus, in the world of Lucha Underground, the women are just as tough as the men. They can deliver a hurt on the men just as much as the men can deliver a hurting on them. And for the most part, the women get the win. I mean, Sexy Star gets wins over men. So I don't think it's sexist or misogynistic at all. I mean, she's treated, I mean, that's equality if anything else. She's treated as an equal. She delivers just as well as she takes it, and she picks up wins against men. So I don't think it's sexist.
Well, I think he's talking about people that don't like it. I think that's what he's talking about. I think it's just different cultures. Like in Canada, I think you have to censor that. Like there's some things where men and women can't fight each other, different cultures and stuff. I'm okay with it if the woman can wrestle, and I think Sexy Star can pull it off. Like, I don't mind men versus women if the women can hold their own. You know, like Ronda Rousey can beat up a lot of fuckers. Sexy Star can beat up a lot of fuckers. If they can hold their own, I have no problem with it. But I think there's different cultures that do have a problem with it. Like, I used to be a martial artist. Not anymore, says the fat fucking guy who can barely get out of his chair. But I used to be a martial artist, and there are people that would not train with women. Matter of fact, when I was in the infantry, Marine Corps, I was an infantry instructor. And we were the first ones to train women for the infantry, and there was people that refused to train them and even be a part with it.
When I did judo, I did it, but I hated sparring against women. I just not in like the sense of I can't I don't want to fight a woman. That was just like, dude, I don't want to fight a woman. This is not fair. This is just not right. I kind of came in it with this isn't right. I shouldn't be doing this. And I know there was no harm intended. It was just to make everybody better. But I just hated the idea of sparring against a woman. It's just, to me, it just didn't feel right.
Yeah, and different people have different things, their culture and all that. I don't mind. No. If we're sparring, if you want me to, I'll punch you in the face if you're a woman. And if you punch me in the face, I'll be like, come on, I'm a puss. Don't punch me in the face. That's like the opposite of double standards. But no, as long as the woman can hold her own, as long as they ain't a freak show. I don't think Sexy Star's a freak show. I think she's an amazing athlete. And they tell a good story. It's not ridiculous. Like I think Sexy Star is a million times more believable than Drew Galloway. That's just me. That's a shoot. Fuck Galloway. He also goes on to say, out of WWE, Lucha Underground, ROH, TNA, and New Japan Pro Wrestling, what's the best company to be in if you're a jobber or low-level card wrestler? Thoughts? Now, this is very, very interesting. If you don't mind, Booms, I'll go first on this one. It depends on what your goals are. TNA is a horrible company to be. If you're a low-level card guy, it's horrible because they pay per appearance. There's rumors of people not getting paid. So I take TNA right off the list. ROH wouldn't be bad, but the problem is that there's nowhere to improve. Like, if you suck, you're gonna get fucking just thrown right out of the company. So there's a shorter learning curve in ROH. You know what I mean? Like, if you go there, and me and Booms were yelling at each other earlier in the show about learning curves. But I think if you're a lower end guy, jobber guy, there's too little of a curve for mess ups. And Lucha Underground, I don't know. I don't think that you get enough experience. You know what I mean? You're going to be surrounded by AAA guys. You're going to be surrounded by WWE guys. You're going to be surrounded by some of the best luchadors in the world. So I think if it's about money, WWE is the best place to go. Because if you are forgotten about and cause no waves, you can be like JTG and have a career that fucking people forgot you're on the roster. You know, so WWE, as far as money and career goes, but if your goal is to improve, then New Japan. Because if you last in a New Japan dojo and you last as a young boy, you're going to be a better wrestler. So it depends on your goal. If you are a jobber / low-level wrestler, if you just want to get paid and keep under the fucking radar, just kiss ass in WWE is probably the best. And if you want to actually improve and get skills, I mean, it's hard. It's hard to go to a New Japan dojo and not be a better wrestler. Now, you might break, but if you do survive, you're going to become a better wrestler. And New Japan will push you if you're one of their own. Carl Anderson, Prince Devitt, there's people like, foreigners that come out of their dojo and have successful careers. So, Boom, is there anything you want to add to that?
No, that was perfect. Perfect analysis.
Thank you. I'm going to give myself a Barry Horowitz.
Yes, you should.
Oh, Mandy, flip the bitch over and drop the pennies. That's from Total Nonstop Action. Seen Enough says, I saw the Castle Liger match live. And if my first time seeing Dalton Castle, very impressed. He's a great entertainer, and he hustles in the ring. Glad he's getting the opportunity. I can agree with that. I'm giving you a thumbs up, Seen Enough. Let's see where we're going with this. Total Nonstop Action. Oh my, ROH commercials. It has Jay Lethal preaching about prostate cancer. LOL. Jay Lethal versus Roderick Strong is pro wrestling at its finest. I agree with that. Google screwed up YouTube. I'm glad Boom Boom shares my love for the hilarious ROH commercials.
Oh yeah, I love
What would be the most hilarious wrestler to product endorsement in your opinion? Mine would be John Cena Wrestling School and JBL Spandex for Men.
There's no Spanx.
Spanx? I don't know what the hell's a Spanx.
Spanx, I had to find out what that was. It's kind of like I don't want to say underwear, but it's like it's kind of like a girdle for fat women. You pick it up at like an Elaine Bryant. It's something like.
I think maybe we need some Spanx. Do they make Spanx for men?
Speak for yourself. I don't fucking need that shit. You do, but I don't.
One of us is in denial.
I'm a sexy motherfucker.
Moving on, LB Clash of King. Who's more overrated in history? The Young Bucks, John Cena, the Usos, the Briscoes, Hulk Hogan, Triple H, Vince McMahon, Dana White, the Bullet Club, WCW's NWO faction, or Aces and Eights? Well, I don't think Aces and Eights is overrated by anybody. So let them hold. I mean, even the biggest TNA fans are like, Aces and Eights. Overrated. I don't know. You know what? It's close. I think the Bullet Club is really overrated right now. I think people think the Bullet Club is a lot better than they really are. NWO faction, I thought it was amazing until they got too many people. So I don't think they're overrated what they did for the business and changed it, even though they stole all that shit from Japan. I'm gonna say Vince McMahon. I think Vince McMahon's the most overrated because even the most diehard internet people deem him a genius. I think on that list, Vince McMahon's the most overrated.
Yeah, I would say Vince McMahon because he's only done the only two good ideas he's actually had are Hulkamania and WrestleMania. A lot of the other stuff he's come up with has just been absolutely horrible. Now, granted, he was able
Hulkamania, not so fast, my fellow friend. Oh man, we're catching up on Lee Corsos. We might get the over. Hulkamania, a lot of that was from AWA. I mean, Hogan was from AWA, but
Yeah, he was from AWA, but Vince McMahon had a pretty good plan how to market him.
Yeah.
They took him to
Is
the
there
next
anyone
level.
else you would put on the list, or do you agree with Vince?
I would definitely put Vince, but as far as the others, let me look. I would say Cena, but just because of the whole controversy surrounding his entire career. Is it just because, he never really faced? It was always like the same guys he faced. He always put on top just because he was the golden boy. There'll be a lot of questions surrounding his career once it's over.
All right. Forsaken. Oh, old school Forsaken. A little late to the party, but I'll catch you up what I missed on the War Room afterwards. Just got home from work. Gonna enjoy the podcast show live. I hope everyone's doing well. Forsaken. Thank you, Forsaken. Forsaken, let's get a little FWL update because everyone cares about my fighting kangaroos. How fucking, dude, I'm in first place by a lot, but let's look at my team. Awesome Kong, not getting booked. You got Dolph Ziggler, and who's the other guy? Dolph Ziggler, I'm trying to think who's on my team. Well, I have Uso and Ryback, they're injured. I have, Dolph Ziggler and Kane. I have Dolph Ziggler and Kane who are faked injured. So I'm in first place, but I have 2 fake injuries, 2 real injuries, and Awesome Kong. I think Rome is crumbling. I have such a huge first place lead, and I got to figure out who I'm going to pick up and drop. Hey, Internet Infantry, I need your knowledge. Do we know? Everyone get together. I need your help to win this FWL, especially beating Boom Boom. Do we know when the Usos are going to return, and do we know when Ryback's going to return? Because I might have to drop one for free agents. But if you can give me some knowledge, like, no, don't drop Ryback. He's coming back next Tuesday. I would appreciate that. Team Heel ATP is coming for you, brother. That's from Andy Paps. Carlos Sanda says, "Am I too late? I hope not. Where are we as far as reviews? We've reviewed everything. We're just comment time now. LOL. Holy shit. TNA wrestling is trending. .9 on Yahoo.com right now. That's good. Good for TNA. I haven't used Yahoo in a while. Yahoo fucked me out of my fucking email. They're like, oh, log in. Oh, that's not your password. Let me send it to you. And they send my locked email to my locked email. And I'm like, Yahoo, you kind of fucking dropped the ball on that one. I'm Gmail for life. I used to be a huge Yahoo guy. Carlos Saldana says, by the way, super excited about all but one match from Ultima Lucha, which is Hernandez versus Drago. I don't know. I think that could be really good in ring.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. Takeover Brooklyn, PWG next Friday, which I'll be going. Oh, that's sweet. I get the fact EC3 is a heel, but he needs to win matches clean or semi-clean like Jay Lethal. I agree. I think people make the heels too weak. It's still early on EC3. I don't think we need to complain as much as we do about WWE heel champs. But yeah, I see your point. LB Clash of Kings, perfect feud for Grado. Give him character development to be believable. Grado versus Eric Young, that's not bad. Grado versus Mandrews, I'm not sure. Grado versus Kenny King, that would help both of them. Yeah, I like the Grado Eric Young Grado. Like I think Grado versus Kenny King, I think could save both their careers. I think American fans such as Boom Boom who don't know why fucking people masturbate to Grado and Kenny King could shine. I like those. And Eric Young, that's a good feud. Because the thing about it is Grado's so entertaining when he brings his A game, he doesn't have to win. And that helps Eric Young and Kenny King. Total Nonstop Action says, I'll piss in his fucking mouth if he's in an X Division match ever again. Coco Classic strikes again. Thank you. Sometimes they're hit and miss, but sometimes I say something funny. All right, let's see. Bullet Club Bigs. All right, let's see. Tough Enough is pointless. I agree. Lucha Underground win. Ring of Honor tie. NXT didn't watch. TNA tie. Bullet Club Bigs also says, Boom Boom, stop hating. Hashtag Gators for life. Go Gators. All right. Let's see. Boom, boom, boom. And no problem. Thank you. Thank you for the retweets, everybody. Let's see. Andy Paps. Andy Paps started off in Greece, and just like the Euro, he's dropping the Greece picture. Like at the beginning of the chat, he has like a Greece flag, and then by the end of the chat, he's like, you know what? I'm dropping Greece. Come on, give Greece a chance. Let's see. And should EC3 be given a faction to take over for the BDC? Yes, and Spud should be in it. And should ROH do a live show on Destination America? I don't know if they could afford that or Destination could trust them enough, but yes. Team Heel ATP is coming for you, brother. And what tag team should TNA bring in to feud with the Wolves, and what would you debut? Young Bucks, and Young Bucks.
They'll never do it. They'll never do it.
All right, and I'm going to refresh. Boom, boom, boom. Booms, I know it's getting late. How many more comments you want to go? We're on YouTube.
All right. There's a handful of them here. Let's go all the way up to Ewok from Endor, then we're going to call it.
So Ewok from Endor is the last one? All right,
yeah.
Cool. Yeah. All right, Ewok from Endor is the last one. Let me see where I left off. I'm glad. Oh, okay, no, we said that. All right, there's actually not that many.
Carlos Saldina.
All right, thank you, sir. By the way, super excited, Carlos, moving up. Carlos. I once thought the Young Bucks were overrated until I saw them perform and got the chance to talk to them. They are fucking awesome, and they love their fans. They deserve all the heck they get. I think that's perfect, and I think that's the boat I'm in. Thank you for wording it a lot better. LB Clash of Kings. Taryn Terrell isn't don't with TNA. She said on Twitter she's staying and still under contract with TNA until March 2006. Plus, you got to remember Taryn Terrell in TNA because she likes working lighter schedules. All right, so hopefully, and then if Taryn Terrell's still there, they really messed up by giving the title to Brooke. Carlos, fact or fiction? More international wrestlers compete in one-offs in NXT. I pray to funk it's a fact. What do you think, fact or fiction?
Say that again.
More international wrestlers compete in one-offs at NXT.
Fiction.
Dude, can you imagine a live event and then Nakamura comes out? It would be great. The U.S. title goes back to being a third-tier title after Cena drops it. That's a fact. Hey, all right. And Sax Zabri Jr., I always slaughter that guy's name, gets a single push somewhere. LOL. Fact. People are really getting behind him. Devitt breaks Pac's NXT title reign record. I'm going to say, well, that's a tough call. I'm going to say fact just because everyone, I'm going to say fiction. Someone will step up. Booms, just cut me off. I'm in super fast Sonic mode.
Okay.
Any women wrestlers you guys like to see on NXT? Kana. That's my go-to answer everywhere. Rylan Steckberg says pro wrestling is gay and fake. Well, that's a possibility, but here's the thing. We're a live YouTube stream. So let's say pro wrestling is fake and gay. Well, let's go past that. You went out of your way to watch a live thing on YouTube to say it's fake and gay. I am not calling you a fucking loser, but you are a huge, huge fucking loser. Like, if you don't like pro wrestling, why come to the podcasts? I think you have to figure out stuff in your life, sir. You have to figure out why you're a winner. You do. Like, if you think wrestling's gay and fake, I'm okay with that. Hey, dude, everyone's entitled to their opinion, but I worry about you and your future. This is what the fuck you're doing with your time. This is what you're doing with your time. You're coming on podcasts about something you don't like to complain about it. I'm not saying you suck dick, but I'm sure you like to taste the penis. LB Clash of Kings. Who would win in a wrestling match? Chyna in her prime versus Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte?
Rousey.
Well, I mean, it depends. Is it a shoot? Rousey. If it's best match, probably Charlotte. If it's Vince booking and he doesn't know about Chyna. So it just depends. It depends on the situation. If it was me, I would make Charlotte win if it was a pro wrestling match. But Rousey would fucking destroy these women. LB Clash of Kings. Do you think WWE made a mistake by releasing Matt Sydal, Evan Bourne, and I don't think he made a mistake because they were never going to use him. And do you think his talents are wasted in WWE being he never held the title? Yes. He was totally
No, he did. Remember, he was tag team champions with Kofi Kingston.
Yeah. And do you think Matt Sydal doing better in ROH now? I think so. So.
Yeah.
But, it's money. Carlos, switch Ryback for Samoa Joe. He counts now, right? Yeah, but I think someone else already has Samoa Joe. Yeah. I mean, of course I'd take Samoa Joe in a heartbeat, but that's the thing. We have to change the rules next year so we have better free agents. Because you're like, who's available? And you're like, we have 97 teams. And you're like, well, I don't know. Ewok from Endor says, fairness of our fantasy wrestling league. Don't tell anything, Dave. LOL. I think he's thinking there's shenanigans. I don't think there's shenanigans. I don't think so, sir. At Joe O'Hara Comedy tweeted us and liked us, so appreciate it. Much love. Go follow him on Twitter. Again, that's at Joe O'Hare Comedy. Much love, and he always supports us. I appreciate it. EC3 Enterprise, perfect name for a faction. Ha 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 ha. That's Andy Paps on Facebook. And I think that's it, Booms. We'll if there's any other comments, we'll try to hit them up later. I've been really bad at answering comments in this section, so Booms, try to do that. And Booms, the next show will most likely be your show. So pitch your SmackDown review.
Yeah, well, I'm going to do SmackDown sometime tomorrow before I have to go to bed. So that should be up in the next roughly the next 24 hours. So that's coming up soon at KocoSports.com, KocoSports.com. But Dave, I'm going to leave you here with some, I don't want to say breaking news, but we do have some news here. The Wednesday Night Wars, you got 4 companies going on here. You got NXT, you got Ring of Honor, you got Lucha Underground, you got TNA Impact. Well, guess what? We are going to get a 5th show, Dave.
What?
Cage Side Seats is reporting that Chikara will, for 6 weeks, will bring their own brand of wacky professional wrestling to the Wednesday block. It's going to stream live on their YouTube channel as well as their own website. It'll start at 7 o'clock Eastern Time, starting on Wednesday, July 29th.
That is the most amazing thing in the world, and I'm so happy it's on at 7. But, oh my God, can someone please move to Tuesday? Well, can someone please move to Tuesday? That's all I'm asking. All right, the wife is getting cranky, Boom Boom. So let's tell everyone, check out KocoSports.net. I got to go pick up my wife, and I have to go talk to television people.
Okay.
Don't people understand I want to blog forever? Go ahead.
I want to tell everybody to check us out at KocoSports.com. That's KocoSports.com. It's your home for all combat sports. That includes boxing, mixed martial arts, pro wrestling, amateur wrestling, sumo wrestling, taekwondo, kickboxing, judo. If you can get your nose broke doing it, we got you covered there on the site. Be sure to check out our news and gossip section, updated daily, along with our very popular video on demand section. It's KocoSports.com. It's where the world goes to kick ass.
And I'm going to ask for a little bit of a right hook here. It's just 3 things that you can do to help us. It's not asking for money. Jerry has been working really hard on KocoSports.net the last couple days. So if you could just go on KocoSports.net and leave this message. Jerry, thank you for not sucking. It can maybe motivate him to keep not sucking. And the second thing I'm going to ask is, if you like me running my mouth and Let's Plays RBI Baseball, I have a channel called Coco Plays, and the link is down in the doobly there. I want to try to get a lot of subscribers, man. I want to build an audience over there. Anyway, Boom Boom, thank you. Internet Infantry, thank you. KocoSports.net, Coco Plays. Tell Jerry he doesn't suck in the comments. With that, I am over. Bum, 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 bum.